Drop that bitch on her head like bang.
What's going on, everybody? Fired Up Fridays, another Friday night. Get those bongs ready. Get those joints ready. Pack them bowls. Let's have a good time. Get the vibes up. Let's talk about the core, the Earth's core. I mean, last week we talked about the moon landing. Was it real? Was it faked? You know, that kind of pulls at your brain strings. What the hell is real in this world? Is it all a lie? So it's pretty interesting looking into this. The idea, we apparently drilled 8 miles down in Russia, right? That's the farthest depth humans have drilled into the Earth, and we can send them a mission to 7-year mission to some asteroid and get some dirt off of it, but yet we've only actually gone down 8 miles. So, considering that the Earth is apparently 24,000 miles in circumference, that puts you at a diameter of at about 12,000 miles to the core, and we've gone 8. So, looking into some numbers, they just don't add up. They don't add up at all. It doesn't make any sense, and it kind of makes you wonder what in the hell are they trying to feed us? Last week was the moon landing. Now we're going to be talking about the core. I think it's just really interesting that some people are going to believe that what they hear and say. So I wanted to look. How do we know? What kind of instruments are these scientists using to measure the distance? How are they using this? It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me, these numbers. So let me bring up some numbers here. So let's say in the 20th century, geoscientists discovered an increase in the velocity of P waves. It's another type of a body wave, about 3,200 miles below the surface. So apparently it changed. They came quicker, so that's how they can gauge, what, what's in the core, what's there. I mean, they're just guessing. Where's the proof? So this is where it kind of started my quest. I see you back there, Tom. I'll pull up in 1 second. I wanted to go ahead and say hello to all our chatters. You guys are important. Appreciate everyone being here, even the ones who's not talking it up in the chat. But our poll, good seeing you. Appreciate the promotion. Bad Barney as usual. Hey, buddy. Cynthia, it's good to see you. Tommy, of course, is here. Snafu, yeah. Always a pleasure to hear what you have to say, Snafu. Let's see. Scroll. Everyone's kind of talking some shit in the chat, which is normal. Chuck, good sir. Chuck, I heard they caught the bastard who did that horrible thing to your daughter. That's good news. If you want to talk about it later, sure. Come on up, pal. Sophia, good to see you. Hey, dumbass. Fire. And keep scrolling. SDG. I don't know if I've seen you before, SDG, but welcome. Bex is here. Welcome. Let's go. EBT. Salute to you, sir. Jen, there you go. Oh, Jen's might make it up if we're still alive in about an hour. And yeah, so look at this. 3,200 miles. Well, we're supposed to be 12,000 miles to the center. How does that even make any sense? Welcome, Tommy. How does that make sense to you, pal?
Well, as far as proof of what's down there, um, if only there were a way that stuff could get out, whether violently and Pompeii destroying. Where do you think the liquid hot magma is coming from, Steve? We
Well,
went
it's
8 miles. We went 8 miles. We hit no liquid hot magma. Where do you think it comes from?
I must be farther down than 8 miles.
Yeah. And then okay, so a lot of this so far is already leaning toward globe talk. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Um, so that liquid hot magma,
Magma.
which includes a lot of liquid hot metals, that's technically where our electromagnetic forces are coming from, because we all know that. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but you get where I'm going with that.
Well, I
Where
know.
are
I
you
mean,
going?
you can tree off, and I know how you feel about the globe. And this really kind of it to me, it doesn't have anything to do with the globe. It's a planet. We're on it, whether it's flat or if it's globe, however you feel. Um, but so look at these numbers. So this is from the National Geographic Society. It's an organization, and you can just do Google searches. Whether I'm just pulling up information that I can search. So here's this one. So then I'm like, okay. So I go to this next search, and I'm like, all right. So if I'm going to use a seismometer, how deep in the ground can that actually penetrate? Because that's what they're saying. They're using this tool to figure out how in the hell what's in the mantle, the lower crust. I mean, come on, so, and this says 467 miles is about as far as this thing can reach. So that's pretty far. I mean, that's pretty deep down.
So, what if they let me blow your mind here, Jarhead? The 8 miles we've drilled, and then use the 467-mile range thingamabobber.
Well, that would put us about 475 miles of.
Good math, buddy. Good math. You got the math of a Marine going on
Well,
tonight.
hey, speaking of the Marines, buddy, it's fucking 248th Marine Corps birthday today. So, any Marines out there watching? Happy birthday, brothers. But yeah, so uh, if I look at that and with what you said, Tom, that's great. Now, so let's take a look at the circumference of the Earth. Right, it's almost 25,000 miles
So,
around.
you're acknowledging it's a globe.
It could be a globe. I have no reason to suspect it's not.
No,
Although,
no, it is, because you're saying the circumference, which they're
Mhm.
saying at the equator, it's that.
Well, a
And once
circumference
again,
could be anything. Like I when I cut speaker
right,
when
but
I
it
cut
wouldn't.
when I
Go
cut
ahead.
speaker rings and I do an
Yes,
enclosure, it's an 18-inch
yes,
stub, right? It's got a
yeah,
18-inch circumference, so that's
yeah,
flat
circle,
actually.
yeah,
So, but I'm just
right,
in that sense of we're
right,
moving at 1,000 miles an hour.
but you can't bring it all together. Like, you see that picture there to the right there, that globe thing?
Hmm.
Now that equator, with the exception of the North and the South Pole, most of us live some distance approximating from that equator. And that's where the sun is hitting the most as we go around it. And there's not a person in this chat or on this internet that can't acknowledge it goes down to their feet when it's setting, and then passes down below their feet and they don't see it anymore, and then up the next morning, because you're technically, in a gravity sense of looking at that picture, you're standing on the side of it, even though you are up and down and we have to rotate that picture to give you that gravity feel. But we all are like static electricity hairs from a balloon head, if you want to go that route.
I mean, we kind of all know how magnetics work, right? You're using electricity to create a magnetic field. Like I can use speakers. I've seen them take blanks
And
metals,
this is
like
that spinning core.
put it in
Yeah,
that
that
machine,
metal.
and that machine, I forget the name of it, but that machine will energize, and you can even do it with like a screwdriver and a car battery.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
make your tools magnetic, which I've done.
And what's the ultimate ground in electric, Steve? What is the ultimate ground?
The ground. I mean, the
The
ground
ground. That's why we call it the ground, baby, because
yeah, no
that's where
shit.
lightning's trying to get from the
What I,
sky.
it's what I do for a living, my friend. So,
That's
um,
why I don't see why there's this globe confusion. It's
no, it's
too
not a
hand in hand.
confusion. I'm not confused about anything. I'm just
Well,
absorbing
it's a fact.
information.
It's a fact we're on a
It
globe.
could very well be a fact, but
No, it is a fact,
all right,
Steve.
Tom. All right, Tom. I know how you feel. I'm not going to go
I'll
to
let
that.
you say maybe God. I'll let you say maybe religions. we are on a globe, dude.
Well, I'm gonna appreciate your intellect on that because you have all the information to prove that it's a globe. Yet there's still numbers, like I'm about to talk about here, that you're talking about information that has been given to you, and you're just believing it. You can
No,
see
no,
it.
no, 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 no. There's many ways, like the things I showed on London Man on the Zemetic Warrior Day, that I was the. You can know it because you're a hairless monkey with two eyes. All you got to do is pay attention and not have a confirmation bias.
You're fucking funny, dude.
No, I'm irritated, man. I just sat and watched that fool hate on my morning Benton show that he hid from me on and not let me up on his panel. I'm sick of it.
So, just doing basic Google searches, like even this one here from NASA, they even say that, there's the diameter, is just under, 12.8. So knowing that this is coming from NASA, right? And you're a NASA believer, you believe everything that they tell you.
No,
You
now
don't?
you're pissing me off.
Well, what, you don't believe everything they tell you?
I'm the one that told you motherfuckers they have a studio and we're prepared to fake it versus the Russians, and you can't seem to grasp that.
We knew that. That's known, isn't it?
So why would I believe everything when I'm telling you knowing I'm on a globe is something any individual can know for themselves, as it was an individual to discover it with no telescope?
All right. Well, you can see the screen, right? You can see that this is from the NASA website saying that we have a diameter of...
Do you believe that? Do you believe that's from the NASA website? Because that's the type of logic you're hitting me with.
Well, I mean...
I guess you believe every website. I know, Steve, that you believe every website you queue up and read. You see how that feels? See what I'm doing?
Well, it says here, in other words, it's significantly flattened. It's kind of weird to say that. But so these numbers, if
it's
we've
saying
only been...
the polar radius is significantly flattened. That's probably why they say it's not an exact sphere. And when you go to the polar radius, probably starts to not be as like basketball-y. How about that, Steve? For reading
yeah. I mean, it's not like a perfect.
I hate this whole community.
Basketball.
I hate this whole fucking community.
What is it you're hating now?
No, it's just it's one big solemn wave of why I hate this community.
No, it definitely has gone to shit. I'm trying to, separate myself from that, even though I was just on Jack's. I had to give Tarek.
Oh, I've stopped going there. Yeah, I've stopped going there altogether.
But
you know what? He got brought up on Monograph tonight. It was hilarious. Somebody went on Monograph to talk about if Jack could get his house back, and I stopped it in its tracks. I was like, no, he done sold it for pennies a year ago, and he's running out of that charity year. Fuck that guy.
Gotcha. Well, but here's my thing, man. This is what I was looking at. It's like, all right, so I'm looking into what my eyes are telling me. I'm looking into what, the government and other sources and scientists are telling us. And you're just trying to fucking go through all this information and, short of doing tests on yourself. And I'm no fucking scientist. I mean, I can use the scientific method and kind of do tests.
No, you cannot use the scientific method, Steve. Sorry.
Exactly.
You cannot use the scientific method.
Exactly. I can think I am, or I can try to do some kind of unbiased test and say, oh, well, this proves this, But so when you look at all this information, it's like, all right, so we've been 8 miles down. And I don't think anyone can refute that because that's the information that's out there, right? So here we are 8 miles down, but yet they're telling us they know what, the different layers, of our Earth. They're telling us what's in the middle. They're telling us what kind of metals are in there. Where are they getting this information? Because I can't
that middle stuff kind of comes out, Steve. Well, like I said, it destroyed Pompeii. So how would you ever get to it to study it? Oh, maybe pick it up off the ground once it cools down,
I've literally...
let's have a little...
Bro, I was in Hawaii. I literally walked on lava tubes.
Okay, so now you know how they can tell what's in it.
So, but it's just fucking rock. I don't know what they've studied.
Well, at that point it is. Have you never seen at least footage of a guy on the top of a volcano looking at that steam and hot shit you don't want to fall in?
Oh, yeah. Well, they got
let's save ourselves the simple questions that we can answer right here with logic. Right. And there's no such thing as common sense, Steve, but we can use logic.
Well, there is common sense. It's not overly common to everybody, but
No. The first day of OSHA class, you learn there is no common sense.
right.
That's why we need OSHA.
Yeah, I think I seen you talking about that on the sewer tank.
I've said it on every panel, and you guys still say common sense. But whatever. I hate you all. But you said something else I wanted to touch on too. I want to say I am still open to some hollow earth theory, but I don't think it's like in the movies where you'd go in and it's like open air shit flying around. I'm in the hollow earth, like there's enough room down there for Nephilim to transpire and plan their alien agenda over the centuries. I still think the inner core is exactly what they're showing.
Well, they're saying it's solid. They say the inner core is solid.
Well, it would appear it might be some solid metalness, but the whole point to this electromagnetic field and the poles, the magnetic poles, is it has to do with we are spinning, like the Earth is spinning the opposite direction of what the inner core is doing, like the gyroscope, not a sandwich, snafu fats. And don't say petagraph in my presence, because your OTW presence was over the line, out of line. I'll delete you if I ever see you in Denver. Hands down.
Well, I've seen some new people in the chat there. I really haven't been paying attention much because
new people run. New people run.
No,
now
this
go.
is a nice place, Tom. Come on now. This is a nice place. But
not for
looks
me,
like
it's not. You've been dropping snafu snaps, Mitchell on me. It's not a nice place. But I appreciate that. It lets me come up here justifiably with this attitude to wreck you plebs on your lack of intelligence. I like being the heel in this community. You all suck. You're all stupid. Let's do it.
Well, I have Mitchell. He's been in the background. I don't.
Yeah, not interested. Not interested. He's got nothing on this Earth core shit. He comes up every week. Fuck him.
No, I'm not.
Well, he talks shit every panel I have to run into him on. You want to do some Earth core? Or you want to lose me like you did on Moon Landing?
I'm sorry, Mitchell, but I really don't want to hear
nice.
your chaos tonight. Nice. If I knew you could come in here and bring some positive vibes, I'd do it. But I'm not going to
go everywhere. He's like Snafu. They let him on everywhere. You can spare me a night or two.
Well, you know how I try to do things. I mean, it's a growing
you try.
art. Yeah, try. Exactly, try. You know,
somebody find Timmy. Can somebody go over to Fat Boy and get Timmy for us and say we need him for the try word? Can you get him over here for the try word? Okay,
you guys don't want me here? I'll leave.
Well, Timmy has this thing where if you say you're going to try to do anything, he goes, no, you failed. You failed. Nobody tries. If you say you're trying, you've already failed. I'm like, Timmy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You hear about...
you see Mitch? You see Mitch calling me a pedo in the fucking chat? And he won't come to my... He's in Denver.
Yeah.
He says, I won't shoot you, Mitch. I'll break your fucking jaw. You won't be able to talk on panel you have to get that shit wired shut. You'll be talking on like this on panels.
That's why
Tommy didn't shoot me.
That's why I don't want to bring him up, because it's just going to be a battle of shitting on each other's faces.
No, Snafu, you said petagraph. You fucking piece of shit. God, I hate that dude.
So you hear that? Remember that ATF pistol brace debacle they were trying to...
no, I wasn't listening to it, but I know it got shot down.
Yeah, their judge ruled it unconstitutional. So we can all go back to using our pistol braces. So
no.
Second Amendment.
I never removed it. I'm not going to... I know you're okay with camming it up. I'm not going to because I don't want to get up, but I never even removed it.
I don't need one, honestly. I have an AR pistol. I don't need the brace. This is my brace right here. So
yeah, and sometimes I was wondering, does it have like that buttstock possible thing sticking out the back?
No, it's just a buffer tube.
Right. It's got the buffer tube sticking out the back, right?
Right.
I mean, AR-15s, that recoil, you could technically just use that, or even put a tennis ball on the end of it if it was remotely jabbing into your shoulder. You just stick a tennis ball in it, it's fine.
Well, they have a remember grip tape for skateboards back in the day? You could just put
I don't remember grip tape.
Anyway, so they got a foam. I have some at Works actually. It's a sound deadener, and it actually I'm not going to put it on there, but you're going to have to you can wrap it around there.
Snafu, did you just support red flag laws? I hate that dude, man. That's anti-freedom, anti-American. He's sitting down there. That's a way to kill someone, Snafu.
What's the red flag law?
Red flag is where you can just tell a cop that you fear someone may be troubled in the head, and that's the shit where Trump's like, yeah, we'll take the guns first, court second. Fuck you, snafu snaps. That's like Florida. We all know what Florida females and spouses are probably like. Florida has the highest rate of red flag prosecutions in the country. Think about that. The land of freedom, the last bastion of freedom, Florida. Highest rate of red flag prosecutions in the country. Snafu's down there pumping it because he's an agent. The optics are low, Snafu. You are an agent.
Now,
Sorry. Those are the only two chatters I could possibly spurg about. Now let's move on.
Yeah, so we can go back to the globe, to the flat Earth debate, and we kind of know that flat earthers don't. It's not that they believe in the flat Earth. It's more or less they don't believe all the bullshit that they've been fed. They're using all this calculations that people are telling them to refute the fact that the Earth is probably not a globe. And that's
That's factual. We've been to space.
Yes, I know.
Those are pictures from when we were orbiting the moon. Because London Man never let me answer him. London Man doesn't let me on his channel while he keeps talking about me. He never let me reply to why does the sun look like it's passing through the clouds, and why did the president, when getting a call from Apollo 8, which one was Tom Hanks on? Apollo 8, I think, when they did the moon landing, why was the president on the phone with a picture of the Earth on the Oval Office in the background? It's quite elementary, my dear London boy. All the times we orbited the moon before we landed on it, they kind of took pictures. And that was before the landing where they called. So, boom.
Yeah, again, and there's always the deceit it's going to be believed. There's always going to be somebody, there's always going to be a group of people that are going to believe that, what we're being fed, is not the truth. And they daisy chain it, it's a domino. Oh, well, you clearly lied about this, so you're going to clearly probably lie about that, and everything's a lie, and that's just kind of, where they come from. You can't really.
That's the confirmation bias, because it's not that they don't, how do I say this? They are so dead set and have, take Z, for example. And I like Z whenever he's not on this bullshit with me. But he has stood so solid, did so many daily rants against Globe that now he is only going to see flat. And he has the confirmation bias of how can I say flat? And I'll sit there and tag the devil in the details of all the stuff he gets wrong. That's when he backstages me like his ex-daddy, because he's not open to finding out. He just wants to prove flat, and now he's too far gone to really get it. Don't he get it? No.
Tommy, here's something I'm curious about, is because Z has had him on his channel a few times. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No. He's had a lot of people on a few times.
Well, he was just on the other day. He's a pretty renowned flat earther. Dave Weiss, right?
Oh, wait. Is he the one that goes to Sob Soul all the time?
I don't think I've ever seen him.
No. I'm thinking of Stavely. Stavely is the one standing with Sovereign Soul saying that I threatened their lives over shape debate. That's also a lie.
No. There's a bunch of bitches on.
So I haven't seen Dave Weiss.
We constantly
Is Dave Weiss the one that punched the kid in the face?
No, I don't think so. You're talking about the Australian guy that did that hit those kids?
He was on the street.
No. Dave Weiss he's got a flat Earth app. People can download. He's got 100K subscribers, and he's in a lot of the videos. But anyway, he's pretty good at debating the flat Earth. I was just curious.
There's no debate for it. He's just denying something somewhere along the way.
Well, I mean, you say that, so I'm curious as if you would be able to. Maybe if I put something together.
Do you know how I fail at all these debates with flat earthers? Number one, Mod God. Number two, they go to trivia, because I don't want to sit here and Google shit. And they're like, do you know the number for this? And I'm like, not off the top of my fucking head. And then they'll stand on, they win. And like I told Z, he needs to do more flat earth facts, which there are none of, because all Z does is either drag the Globey or stand on something that's not true. And by the time you're trying to push it, he'll backstage you. Me and a Christian flat earther, we were having an introduction, a civil conversation. Z wouldn't even let us finish that, backstage me. He didn't like the friendliness or whatever. I don't know, but
Well,
it's a fucked up situation.
I think that if somehow, some way, I'll throw some feelers. If I could get him to talk to you, because I would love to see how you could hold up against him, and not that I don't think that you would win or lose. It's just that this guy, he's very good at articulating the argument. So to see both of you guys argue for or nay, here on my channel. If you think that I'm a good enough moderator to be able to bias
You're
between
not. You
both
throw
letting you guys.
Snafu and Mitch on me. You're not a
No,
good
no, no,
enough
no.
wrestler.
This would be a ring match, cage match.
No, it's not a
Um,
fight. It's me trying to convince a guy that's wrong what is factually about.
well,
And
base.
Steve, with all due respect, now that I'm hosting, why would I waste views like that over here where you haven't always done me right?
I have never done you wrong. You can have felt
Yeah,
that
you
maybe
have.
no, you felt that way, but you misinterpreted it. So
No, you misuse. Like when you say I'm always welcome here,
always,
you disregard whether you're making that a place I care to be.
bro,
And
if you
Ian's done
go
the same
out
thing.
and you start
Ian's done
shit
the
with
same thing.
people, if you
I've
go out and
only
start shit with people, man, and
I
I let
don't
them in
start
here
shit with
not
people.
knowing that shit has been started, how am I
You're
supposed to
London
fucking
manning
know?
me. No,
Not at
you
all.
knew there was shit with Snafu. Me and Bex were friends back when that happened. And I mean, her and Mitchell and Snafu, they should all take it on over there in London, man. And then they ain't got to worry about me.
So you don't want to ever be on a panel with Snafu or Mitchell? Is that what you're telling me?
They call me a PDF even when my enemies are tired of it, Steve. Is that a rhetorical question?
You don't have any enemies. You want them to call you that, don't you? Do you not
No.
like it? You don't like it.
Now you're truther copying me.
No,
You're
now
saying
I'm
you're saying that I started all this on purpose.
okay. Well, you talk about being honorable, right? So I saw you on the sewer town the other day talking to the one gentleman. There's three of you up there, and you talked about how you first came on. You talked about your pedo situation with the 17-year-old girl. You talked about your mess situation, and then you're
And
like,
what did I say about that?
oh, now they got nothing on me. Well, you brought it up, man. Like you literally let all
No,
those
no.
people. Those
Tell me
people
how
had
I
no
brought it
idea
up.
because you brought it up. The
No,
words
they
come out
had
of
an
your mouth.
idea. They had an idea. See, this is how you're stupid, Steve. Sewer Town made a video. You didn't even watch that whole stream, did you?
I watched a little bit of it, but not the whole
Did you
thing. No,
watch it when Hoax Wars came up and I ran him off like a little bitch?
no, I didn't get it.
Oh, well, then see,
I
this
was
is
at
why I
work.
don't respect you or your channel, Steve,
I
and
was
why I
at
wouldn't
work.
waste the views. Because that channel, Sewer Town, made a video called Hoax Wars is Friends with Pedos. That video was about me, Steve. And then Hoax Wars came up, tried to guilt me for being there because he made that video. Then I told Hoax Wars what was up. He ran before I could finish. Steve, no one can stop me. I leaned in and I'm glad the dating and the meth thing had come out so I could dispel it. And now I'm invincible here. But even you, my alleged, oh, you're always welcome here guy, you're sitting here fucking it up. And Planet X Watcher, I've always known you're a troll, and you should go to court with Snafu Snaps. You're too knee deep in this shit.
Well,
Fuck
clearly it
Planet X
wasn't
Watcher.
illegal to be with a 17-year-old girl, so it wasn't
Nope,
in any
and I was
way, shape.
morally in the right. I only told the grab. I've told you this too many times, you fucking faggot. I only told the grab 'em by the pussy story on Moose's channel, so the fucking cult would hear that, come to Lauren's, try and blow it up. That's exactly what they did. And the only thing that embarrassed me on Lauren's channel is when I backed Paul up on his pullover video. I didn't know that shit doesn't have an ending. So we don't know that Paul was let go for driving without his credentials.
Well, they weren't arresting people during that time anyway, right? I mean, they weren't trying to.
No, because even my meth dealer was free. He'd see the cops and they'd be like, "Hey, we got warrants for you, but we're not coming
Tommy,
for you for
I
a while."
really don't fucking care about all this drama across these boards. Like,
Yeah, that's why you threw Snafu on me multiple times. That's why when I brought Bex here for her first visit, back when I liked her, that's why you threw Snafu on us and that turned into shit, because you don't really want all this drama.
well, I didn't realize what was going on.
Really?
To be honest,
Really? You're not being honest. You're not.
Seriously? It is funny that you want to say that because I don't fucking lie about shit. I have no reason to lie about
Well,
shit.
you might not be aware. I agree, because
I just said I wasn't aware that I was doing some kind of subliminal fucking Tommy.
No, you might not be aware that back then you did know and still threw him there on us, because I think I remember, and I have that stream downloaded in case I need to check it. I think I remember saying, don't bring Snafu Snaps up here because he's just going to throw that pedo shit on us all night, which is what he did. So I'm sick of even London over there trying to backtrack and correct why everything's my fault. I'm sick of this whole fucking community.
Yeah,
I mean, except for the few people like you are testing me for if I keep showing up here. I don't go to Jack's anymore. Machine Lies pushed it on that recent night, but we're cool again. There's only so many channels I'm going to bother supporting.
Well, I'm a big fan of you. I didn't, wasn't aware that I was trampling on any.
No. Like I said, I know I have the footage of you because I'm not always watching the screen. I know I have the footage of you like looking. You drop Snafu in all tense, and then whenever I flip out, you're like, oh, you're elated like a child that watched his mousetrap game go off.
No, it wasn't intentional. I can tell you that much.
No, I think it very much was. Keep it rolling.
That's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I enjoy having you here because you do have, an intellect that I like to listen to. You do have.
Goddamn right, I do.
And my humor matches your humor. Just the way it's. I mean, you go a little overboard, but God damn it, man, you're fucking funny as shit. So
okay,
it's just unfortunate, that everywhere you go, people are always giving you shit. But
is Paul really restreaming? Is Paul really restreaming? Can somebody verify in the chat if Paul's restreaming? I have some information he needs to know that I don't want to go sit and wait for his link for.
I don't even talk about that dude anymore, so why would he even bother?
Well, because at the beginning, our poll said he's restreaming, and he needs to know that his son Brian O'Shea found a reason to, for some reason, emailed Montegraph, and now Montegraph gets whatever he gets from people who email him, because I guess if you email him, it goes to his personal server or some shit. I don't know, but it was hilarious. Because I also pointed out the Montegraph that Brian O'Shea invented stand-up tragedy, which is what it is when he does stand-up. Stand-up tragedy. You get it? You get it, Steve? Stand-up tragedy?
I saw Paul last night on Jack's panel, did his normal thing, and that's the first I've seen him in a long time. I don't even talk about that dude.
Oh, I say all kinds of bad shit about him. But
I'm sure. I mean, I hear people talking about it all the time, but I've lost interest in anything, in that side of the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna support Venus as she pursues the snafu case that could tie Paul in. Monograph had some things to say about Paul is very much in line to hit those courts, and Paul always says he can handle those courts. That might be the best karma of all this year and a half or whatever it is he's spent doing this shit. And just like Snafu's still sitting there. Snafu, we already said you're not coming up while I'm up, so you can quit spamming Link. And we all know what you're going to say. Let me cover you, Snafu, so you can calm down. Illuminati threatened women and children, pedo pogo, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that kid. I hope he goes to court. I hope he dies in the hospital before he goes to court.
So, do you want me to bring Snafu up or no? You want to bring him?
Your audible fucking no, Steve. I know. I just said what he's gonna say, and if he's gonna sit there and spam Link in frustration, like I was left to sit in Bex's new favorite place that hated on her for God knows how long. No, he can't come up. If you bring him up, I'll leave, and I'm not running. I'm just over his fucking repetitive looping.
I'm saying
bullshit.
if I bring him up, you want to go take a break in the back so I can see what he's got to say.
No, you bring him up, I'm leaving. I already unsubbed whenever you put that 5 minutes or longer shit up. You can unsub for me too. I don't care. I think that's some fucking hater bullshit.
What's hater?
Putting that 5 minutes. That's like
it's to keep the retards out.
You can't do that, Steve.
Well,
I mean, your show.
If they're going to come in here. No,
No,
Tom. If they're going to come in here and talk all the bullshit in the chat, at least I got to make them fucking sit here for 5 minutes and listen to this bullshit, or wait 5 minutes to say whatever it is they got to fucking say. So they got
that makes no relevance.
Yeah, it does. They got to fucking hit a button. They got to do something extra to go to the effort to say whatever kind of bullshit is they got to say. I mean, it's
what are you recording, Mitchell? YouTube is recording. The internet is recording, and I have recordings of you saying that I'll shoot you, which I won't. I'll have your jaw if you were not a coward like you accuse everyone of being. You say you're in Denver. You say I'll shoot you. I say I won't. I'll throw a fucking witness out there to prove, as they won't call the cops when I bust your fucking face up for all your coward bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Yolanda, you're failing as well. You keep going to Paul with your 8 picture on. You keep going everywhere talking your open-ended shit, and that stuff that had you tripped up on fucking Venus the other night. You're failing, Yolanda, because you did say that Paul's people came to your panel showing dicks and that you called the cops. I'm the lore master. I got the elephant memory. Spare me your bullshit with supporting Bex, who says I'm a faggot pedophile. Fuck off with that shit. Why are you supporting everyone, Yolanda? It's making you fail. No, Mitchell.
Well,
I'm a rich guy that doesn't have a car, Mitchell, and you're not rich because you're paying for a car. I'll buy a car again when my epic plays put me in the top 10% of fucking wealth. Come to Mississippi and Jason, faggot. You got a car? Don't bring them guns, boy. You'll go to prison for life.
Well, let's see what old Mitchell has to say.
All right, see ya.
See you, buddy.
I already covered what he's going to say on fucking Machine Lies, and he got cornered. He had nothing to say.
Well, he's
and he
either
still sat there.
say something to you or say something to me.
Yeah, call me a
Well, let's just
pedophile,
bring it
Mitchell.
all up here. Here you go, everybody.
Hey,
Go ahead.
let's not remind you guys, the guy who just shouted out monograph, pedograph, had children chained to the walls as he's fucking fantasizing about rape and kidnapping and torturing them. And this guy who admitted to his pedophile tendencies, Tommy, is shouting out a pedophile who's involved in some serious shit. And again, motherfucker, sue me, Venus Cupcake and the Granny Panty bitches, because they know
As if
what
we
I
didn't know this was
you
coming.
pedophile pogo fucktards. But I love how we forget how monograph, when the guy brings them up, I showed you all through Paul's how he had a child chained to the wall and fucking
As
his
a picture.
kidnapping option.
As a
And you're
picture.
gonna shout him out like a pedo you are.
As a picture. You really think someone's a pedo? Like, he's made some what people would call untasteful YouTube
Call it
videos.
art,
Are those
right?
YouTubes?
Yep.
Are those
Kinda like
YouTubes
you
still
giving the
posted on video?
7-year-old
Are
drunk
those
and saying it's
YouTube
not wrong.
videos
Yep.
still posted?
Yeah, I just love how you guys forget that Pedograph posts his fantasies, which all of you were shocked when old Snafu got Paul to play it, right? Oh fuck!
Are
I didn't know it was
YouTube
like that. I didn't know it was
videos
like that.
still
And you're
posted?
shouting out a beast.
So what is the use of this constant just fucking banter back and forth? And why is you have a fucking train in your backyard?
Oh, do you hear the train? This is a good
Yeah,
mic.
it's loud
This
as
is a good
fuck.
mic. I'll mute up. I didn't. That's down where I'd fight Mitchell. That's a good mic.
I don't get
And just let me add, I have a mic. I have a mic with like a tripod mic holder from an Office store, either Office Depot or one of them things. This excellent mic that's better than that, that's picking up that train like way down the street. Just
Steve,
that
it's a
little.
subliminal
This is
message
that
for
little.
train wreck.
This is
He's
that
a
little.
fucking train wreck.
This is that little gold novelty thing I got at the dollar store that was up by the register,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
excellent microphone.
That's
It's
funny.
crazy. It was like
Hey, what's
$3.
up with Colfax and Wadsworth, huh? Should I go for a walk here soon?
Yeah, if you want shot.
Okay. Because you've
Snafu,
you threatened to shoot
snafu.
multiple people now online. Multiple. Over 5
No,
people.
just
you've
you.
threatening
Just
to
you.
shoot.
No,
We got
just
5
you.
plus people you've threatened to shoot documented.
No,
Interesting,
there's
huh?
3 people. There's 3
There's
people.
at least 5, dude. We got 5. And we've
Okay,
even talked
name
about
them.
burying
Name them.
bodies.
And name my
there's
address
reports
while you're
about
at
it
it.
too, Tommy. You don't think there's
Name
police
'em.
reports about you burying bodies and shit? You dumb fuck.
No, there's not.
Sue me, you fucking cupcake fucks. You want to get Monograph and Venus involved? You don't think Snafu Crew's been documenting all this shit from you criminal trader, fraudulent fucks? You have
There is no
threatened
crew.
over 5
There
people
is
talking about burying
no
bodies
crew.
and this
Let's
and
just
that.
stop
And
right
the
there.
pedophile
There
tendencies.
is no crew.
So
Hey,
keep talking
Steve,
about how they're
way to
gonna sue
ruin
Snafu.
your little core video.
No, it's not really ruining. It's just a fact that you guys have to go.
Not you guys, bitch.
Yeah, you're part of it, Tommy. Don't act like you're not.
You
a part
brought
of
him
it.
up. You let him the fuck up here.
Apparently, you were supposed to leave.
You could have asked if that's why you brought him up.
You're threatening me like you're gonna hurt my feelings if you fucking leave. Like, yeah, you're gonna hurt my feelings, man. I'm gonna be really upset that I couldn't.
It has nothing to do with your feelings. I thought you were trying to do a little debatey thing every Friday, and so far you're failing every time. Because to have a debatey thing, you need somebody outside the echo chamber. That's me.
It's an ability to be able to get along with your peers, your internet peers, not anything to do with age or status, but just these same people that we keep bouncing around, going.
Your fatherlessness is showing.
Fatherlessness, yes.
Yeah, because you'll put on the 5-minute limit to keep the chatters out, but you'll let this bullshit right up on here.
Well, you bring it with you. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? I want to have some intellectual conversation up here, but you got to,
you're dodging responsibility.
The responsibility is whatever the fuck I want it to be, right? Just like
no, that's not. It's not. You said I brought it with me.
You know you brought it with you. You bring it.
I didn't click add to panel.
Do you ever not like going to a stream where you can actually just talk about some shit with people and
I thought that was here and you're not letting it be here. The same as when Bex and me showed up. You're doing the same shit tonight. You're acting like you don't do it on purpose.
Well, if you're going to run this show, I got to bring somebody else in here to get another opinion. We know how you feel.
Do you feel like I'm running the show?
No, I feel you're running your your thoughts there. You're calling out chat. You know what I mean? It's it should be a good back and forth banter, but it really never. It's never positive. It always ends up in this fucking shouting match in this.
So you're saying that's on me?
No, you're part of it. Just like I'm a part of it. Just like you said, for letting people up here thinking that we could fucking talk about.
Listen, I'll accept responsibility that I backhand that chat whenever I see bullshit. It would have been a simple, Tom, will you ignore the chat for this one? And I would have said yes. But you're an unfathered fucking fucktard that doesn't get the whole honorable, able words, integrity, and you learned it in the military, but you don't perform it well.
Oh, that's not a very good assumption at all.
It's not an assumption. I've been coming here a lot. I've known you for a long time in these streets. I'm telling you what I'm watching you do.
You should know fucking better then. You know that anything.
No, mindfuck, sometimes it's all about the chat. I have to ask each individual host, are we watching the chat? Are we not watching the chat? I didn't do that time. I'll take responsibility for that. I didn't ask. And me and Bex are not friends. I think Bex sees what I'm saying. If you can watch the chat, not everybody has the analog hack ability to watch the chat while they're a guest, but if you do, you can be tempted to see it and want to respond. It's easy to quickly respond to the chat if you let yourself go.
Well, let's get back on topic then, since, I mean, they're both...
No, I think you already threw this off. You've already offended me.
No, I didn't.
Have fun with your core show.
Get the fuck out of here. See ya. Oh, man. So I tell you, Snafu and Mitchell, I know you guys don't get along with him, but you guys have any questions or comments of what we're told this, the center of the earth is supposed to be at all? You have anything?
I think it's a great deception. It's like so much of the deceptions in the world. It's just one of the big and many, so to speak, and it's part of the, like, there's more than just the world itself as being a deception. And some of it's in our face, some of it's not. And it just, I mean, what do you do with it, right? Other than, what do you really do with it?
Well, they also tell us that they know what the center of the moon is, and they know the center of Saturn is a gaseous moon. Like, how do we fucking know these things? You know what I mean? Like, why do people just believe what they're being told? You know what I mean?
Well, I think they beta tested that too. That's like with the whole mask and optics and things that's happened. They're beta testing to see the compliance around them. That's okay. Let's just be real. Guidelines and policy on YouTube. American journalists, American whistleblowers, American truthers, right? They will let big tech and companies dictate platforms, policy and guidelines, because what? For money, monetization, and to get the message out versus stand up against it. Why? It's a compliance thing. It's a beta test. How much will they comply? And then each time, more and more, we're going to take more and more. How much are they going to listen to? Just we'll make shit up. They better believe it. More and more. And so it's all beta testing, and our compliance is literally, we have given everything away. People can't even defend themselves on YouTube. They're going to argue for policy and guidelines versus argue the fact of stand up against it. So we are in a compliance and a taking in the bullshit mode, period. So of course they're going to make shit up and people are going to eat it.
So what I always look at is like, what is the benefit? What is, the purpose of doing that? What are they hiding? What's out there that we don't
Power.
know? They don't want us to see.
Ritualistic power, New World Order beast system. When you hear about like the Illuminati or the occult and things to that nature, these messaging and these things, it's the Luciferian world of deception. So it's a power thing. It's an elitist thing.
Well,
And
I know
Jack,
you believe
you're
in.
fucking tard too. Fuck you, Jack. You're tard sitting next to Flow State, fucking anti-God, acting like you're preaching about God, and then fucking backstaging me before I even say a word. You're a fucking joke, you guru fuck.
Well, thanks for being here, Snaps. What's going on, Jack?
How you doing, brother?
No, I think I caused it being on your panel, going off on Tarek a little bit. I think I deserve it. I brought the fuckery here, so I really did.
This is an interesting experience, isn't it? And a lot of interesting characters, and seeing Illuminati and Snafu at the same time. I saw you and Mitch, and I thought, I can bring another reasonable perspective to this, some calming energy.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Dominic.
Yep, welcome, Dom. No, usually it's like the first half hour, maybe 45 minutes. Everyone who's been yelling at each other on other panels, they'll come in. I kind of let them do their thing, whatever. Unfortunately, there's some people that are here to, maybe just see a discussion happen. So, once Tommy gives in and caves out, Mitchell keeps wanting to come back in here. I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but, Snafu, I actually like Snafu. Out of all these people that I see on these panels, he has a champion for something. He's trying to uncover, fuckery. He's trying to uncover, people doing bad things and trying to put it out to the public. The way he goes about it, it's a unique in his own sense. Apparently not everybody is going to do it the way he does it. He's a little fucking abrasive, sandpaper-ish, right? Yep. But in the end of the day, I don't see him like really trying to hurt anybody. He's just trying to bring to light some information that he thinks people should hear. So, but anyway, how about you, brother? The last couple of nights you've been having a rough couple streams, people testing your patience.
I've been leaning into it the past couple nights. I think I'm growing and getting better with them, but I'm still learning and growing. I'm trying to find that balance, right? Mm-hmm. Where do you stand up and just say enough's enough? Grow up or get out. And you do a good job with that, actually. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Hey, I know you're looking into this topic. What the hell's going on with this world, right?
Yeah.
I kind of missed where you were going. I don't understand all the math and stuff. I don't claim to, but I don't claim to know what the shape of this realm is. I just know that it can improve when people stop lying to each other, man. Wouldn't it be cool to actually know what is true?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, I think I heard him saying, like, once the president's sworn in, they bring him into a little room and explain to him certain things, no one knows. Whatever. But it's like this conspiracy one after another, it's just like at the end of the day, is it just us just conceptualizing that, we just can't believe what's true. So let's just make up some shit and run with it. It's what it kind of seems like.
That's what government is.
Where's the fucking evidence? You know what I mean? There's no fucking evidence. So I don't know. It's
actually part of the reason I came up here is because I meant to bring this up. I lean actually towards the earth. I put in the present. There's suspicious observers. Have you come across that at all by chance?
I don't think so.
It's a guy, I don't know a lot about his background, but he's got a very, very logical, scientific type mind. And he pays attention to a lot of the new papers. He's critical. He's very critical about a lot of the news that is shared, a lot of the so-called science.
Mm-hmm.
But he does daily reports on how the earth energies or the sun energies affect the earth. And his main thing is the earth catastrophe cycle. That's what's really got my interest in this sort of stuff.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a channel I follow honestly every day. I trust the guy's science,
Mm-hmm.
but who knows, man? Who knows what is real? I don't have anything to recommend or to suggest, but I
Right. No, I mean, we rely on our eyes, right? We rely on what our perception is, or what we can see, or what we cannot, understand with what we see, our point of view. And it's just hard for me to, last week I was talking about the moon landings, and just how chaotic that whole thing is. And then it got me thinking, about how fast the earth is rotating, and how we're orbiting the sun, and how the sun's orbiting through the Milky Way, and, just trying all these numbers and these speeds of miles per hour. And I'm like, I want to focus on our planet, because I'm going to call it a planet. I don't know what else we'd fucking call it. Right.
right.
Like, and then I seen somewhere where it was a news story. Scientists, discovered something. Like, how did they discover anything? You know what I mean? We've been 8 miles down. The equipment and tools that we have literally cannot go far enough. So where are they getting this information? Are they just making this shit up just to, have some new info? You know what I mean? I don't.
Dude, who knows? When what I was just reminded of is there's some new discoveries or apparently new formations discovered within the earth. So it was different than this guy showed, is where I learned this from.
Mm-hmm.
Shows a different core structure than what you had pulled up when I first got up here.
Gotcha.
Can't remember where. I don't know where his stuff is very well.
Suspicious observers.
He's, I encourage, he does his daily streams or his daily shows are just like 2, 3 under 5 minutes typically.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you to check a couple of them out. See what you think about what you hear and what you see. I honestly don't know what is real, dude.
Yeah, it's got a lot of content. Holy shit. I'm going to have to go through that and check some of it out. It's always good to find a new channel to check out. You know what I mean? It's always good to see some new shit.
I
very
believe
interesting.
it's all interesting and it's all fascinating. I actually believe in a lot of what that guy's sharing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was raised with the globe mindset, of course, too. So, but
well, we all were. I mean, I don't know anyone who wasn't, or literally, if you track back, late 2000s, but then again, the internet hasn't been the way it is now, whereas information is just so easily shot to your hand, to your phone, so I can see why it's gaining so much more steam, you know what I'm saying, in this sense. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm tired of seeing things that just don't make sense. We know how the God and the sky, can confuse a lot of people in a certain way, but it's like, trying to grasp onto something that, is grounded, and fact, you know what I mean? Without, having to add your own interpretation to something, that you're kind of interpreting, it's not fact. So
Steve, where my mind is going on that, the greatest lie is a fucking American dollar.
oh yeah, for sure.
You know, everyone's been playing along with this lie for a long time.
Fractional banking,
Yep.
the debt ceiling, the Fed, like I've done streams on that too, and it's one of those, like, I'm learning so much, and I'm learning too much that it's like I don't want to learn anymore, because it's like every new thing that I learn, it's like a 180 of what, it's like, wow, man, I just need to keep just smoking more weed and just go fishing and stop trying to educate myself, because it's sometimes it's a little nerve wracking. So, but what's going on there, Dom? You there, pal?
Hey, Steve. Hey, Jack. Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. You got anything to add to this? The depth of the earth.
Well, they kind of openly admit it's public information opposed to private information. So unless we've actually been there ourselves and working on one of those crews that have said, okay, we've hit the 8-mile mark, they're just going to tell us stories. So a lot of us get redirected with our senses. They put a globe, as you guys were talking earlier, in the classroom, but do you actually see the globe? They send you pictures. So now
Right.
they're misleading people with their senses by looking something on paper, but they're not actually using their senses by looking outside. So, I've dug holes, I say it jokingly, but to go down that deep, even if I didn't go down that deep, my question would be to them, what does it serve you to give me this information? Besides this fuckery, what purpose does it serve?
Well, I'm going on to the whole vision of, we've been indoctrinated. Most of us, I would assume, went to public schools. They're teaching us what they wanted to teach us. And then now here we are, we're grown adults. We have a better ability to research. We have a better ability to kind of detox. And now that we're seeing things that don't make sense, it's like, all right, what am I going to do to make sense of this nonsense? So
Well, they're leading us, Steve. They're not teaching us. They're leading us.
yes.
So unless you're been put in the program to question those things, then there's a lot of assumptions, and they're counting on people to try to make sense of an assumption. So now we're going down what some people would say a rabbit hole. I said, fuck, I want to go upwards, not downwards. So now I would ask the teacher, well, how does this help? Why am I doing math? Why am I doing science? And if they turn around and say, well, we don't ask questions, well, then I'm not with you then. I should be able to question anything. So, and if I can't question it outside, I should be able to question it inside. And then say to myself, okay, doesn't do fuck all for me. Even though everybody's going to go in that direction and say, well, don't, but you have to believe in flat earth. What the fuck? Why do I have to fucking believe in anything? Again, that's me questioning things and my own interpretation. If somebody says belief, I'll put knowledge to it. If they say knowledge, I'll put discernment to it. I'm going to challenge things for the sake of it. I'm not going to challenge people. I'll challenge the ideal. So let's say they've said, whoever they are, they've dug deep. Some people that are interested in that industry was, okay, what machinery did you use? What did you find while you were down there? But most people will just skip all of that and say, well, did we or did we not go down fucking 8 miles? What the fuck? We're not even at that point yet. We're still gathering information at this point, but before even thinking that there's an answer to this. And until people become aware of that, they're just fucking themselves. They're misleading themselves. And then they'll say shit like, well, they're lying to us. No, you're misleading yourself. Again, and it doesn't matter if it's Russia, China, whoever's digging these holes. Those are distractions. What purpose does it serve the fucking human race if we did or didn't go to the moon, let alone dug 8 miles or 3,000 miles down?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's really not the point. The point is that if they're feeding us this, history, and as you learn history, like I used to be proud of Christopher Columbus. He's an Italian. I'm Italian. Fuck yeah, discovered America. And then you really, once you research the real story of what a bastard, a motherfucker he was, how horrible he was. It's like, wow. Why aren't they teaching us that in school? Why are we honoring somebody who did something really horrific to all these people? And it's just a domino effect. And it's like this just chain of every time you're taught something, then all of a sudden you find out, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. Or you just question it and you can't put fact to it. I don't know, man. I'm just it's like a downward spiral down the rabbit hole, sideways, upward, down. you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to find a way to deal with one topic, but it keeps branching off into a dozen more.
Again, Steve, there's another example, Steve. They'll tell us what Christopher Columbus did, and then somebody else gives you a small little caption somewhere else. Well, he was this bastard. Who's to say both of those stories are not misleading each other? None of us were there. Now, we could probably predispose based on human behavior that maybe he could have been a kind person, a mean person, an ignorant person, a person that just didn't give a shit about anybody. Again, how does it serve to know whether or not a guy fucking went on a boat and he came somewhere else? I can't have discernment on a guy that named Christopher Columbus unless somebody says, well, he went there to look for new lands. Oh, okay. So why did he leave the old lands? This is kind of like a childlike interpretation of asking questions. Adults usually are too busy being fucking clever to not use wisdom. Discernment. A child at least will use its imagination. So, Dad, who is this Christopher Columbus? Well, he was this nice guy. Well, what's your interpretation of a nice guy?
I think the bigger point is that they're lying. And so, to refer back to the shape of the earth and whatnot, they're getting $60 million a day. They just start. So if we're to suppose that they are lying, then what would they start a space force for? Also, in addition to the 60, you know what I mean? What nefarious things are they actually doing is the questions to be asked.
Well, again,
I have the actual, 100%.
We don't. But we got the optics, dude. You mentioned Space Force, and we know the occult symbolism and the ritualistic agendas that are being put in play, New World Order stuff. Think of it this way: the Statue of Liberty. I've talked about this. What is it really? Go Google the image Ishtar. It's the goddess of fertility and blah, blah, blah. Yet that's what we look as the Liberty statue, but really the occult and them look at it as statue of Ishtar. It's identical. I think the same thing goes with Space Force. The whole patch on the logo is the Sphinx. These are occult agendas in play using technology and other things and things. But the deception is to the core of the beliefs and the value systems. And like you said, Steve, it's crazy because you could research it and you'll be like, oh, this is that. Oh, what, blah, blah. But I think it's kind of turning the cheek thing, too. Because sure. Now we know the Statue of Liberty. You go Google, it's Ishtar. But what does that do for you? Okay, for some of us, we're like, well, that explains why the world is ran the way it is in certain things, ritualistic, occult, deception. But most people have that. Well, I just it's too much. It's almost too much to perceive the deception, and that includes just the shape of the world and things like that. So,
yeah, I think it absolutely matters.
I do too, and I think the more things get progressed to the implementation of New World, the more messaging and the more, as I call them, disclosures, whether they're fake or not. We're going to see. That's why we're witnessing the Mexico shit with the aliens, and you see mainstream media like Joe Rogan and others picking up the topics. They're definitely pushing the agendas.
So I just want to jump on and say this is a quick decode I did in my head I heard you talking about the 8 miles. Eminem released a movie called 8 Mile. 8 miles is 42,240 feet. Now drop the zero. That's 4224. They're going to have the Super Bowl coming up on the 42nd day of 24. Like the key to the universe lies in the 42 months of revelation. Does that make sense? And the Vatican was founded on that same day. It's the anniversary of the Vatican. It's going to be 7,767 days since 8 Mile was released. Just thought I'd share some numbers.
Right on. Thank you, sir.
And people forget, like the football games and basketball games, them themselves, the uniforms, the numbers, the actual court itself, the symbols, those are occult rituals, just like gladiator days. They technically are rituals because they feed off the power of the people in one stadium or one presence. And there is occult ritualistic natures to. So like when Smith does those number things, it is real. That's why you have those gematria guys. They do talk to each other through messaging. And it's not just gematria numbers. But everything's more of ritual if you really kind of look at it in a sense. And probably including the earth, the shape of the earth.
Well, I think it's, a feat in itself for him to have the time to think of numbers and compare them to this and that, and however it makes sense to him. I'm really kind of lost with it. I'm pretty good at numbers too, but I just don't know what that, what
He kind
what
of
it's
goes
pushing towards.
he kind of goes way off, but I understand a lot of it. It's like when WWE Chris Benoit, when he died, and some of these media relations are involved in blood sacrifice. It's real shit.
He committed
And the
suicide,
numbers
didn't he?
the numbers, well, apparently he killed his children, this whole thing, but let's just get into it. The Jamatra people broke down the numbers from his birth to the actual how he died to the dates of pay-per-views and things like that. And the same thing it's just like the statue of Ishtar. It's straight up a picture of the goddess of fertility, but we're so dumbed down, or people don't even look at it. They're thinking, yeah, army, military, liberty, United States, freedom, right? But it's really for fertility, Babylon, right? Why are we so about the sexual culture here in America? Why are we so about the pornography here in America? Statue of Ishtar. I think some of these things have to be actually accepted to be seen. If that makes sense, Steve.
I mean, it does. It all depends again where your beliefs are in faith in God. That drives a lot of people into what. What brings them to a what do you call a revelation, Jack? Is that a good term for it?
I think so.
It's what you believe in, and it's not that if you're looking at lies, but if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. And then maybe you want to say, make that make sense to other people.
That's the thing. The best lies make sense because they contain the truth within them. And that's how the Illuminati works. It's the darkness leading.
Well, it ain't even that. You and I had a conversation last night about the Mandela effects on the Bible changes.
That too.
Jack actually had a conversation with me, and I went over a bunch of scriptures and how even emojis are now showing up, smiley faces.
Yeah.
Because of CERN and the technological issues of how it did it. So I think it's deception all around, Jack, period. The Prince of Air, so to speak, whether you're religious or not, just remember there's a light to a dark to a light.
Well, and speaking of the deception, it's the most sold, most well-known book of all time, and the most known verse has been altered. Everyone knows. I actually called into a very large Christian broadcasting station on YouTube, and the guy threw me off and thought I would, was trying to get him with or whatever. And he's, I'm going to go look at your Bible, John 3:16. It should say shall not perish, and now it says should not perish. How is that happening? I think it's 2 Thessalonians 2:9. It's the Lord of this world in conjunction with the ministry of truth. That's where you find the printed or old media stuff.
Well, Jack and I went into depth last night.
God's word?
I don't know, Jack. When we talked about this, did you get a little better understanding, in my opinion, how I thought it was going? I mean, because some of those things were just unbelievable. Jack was like blown away, I think, with some of them, the emojis and the darker entities. Like, it is truly fascinating to see the technology and prophecy being fulfilled at the highest rate. And that's on me speaking, because I know there's a lot of non-believers or believers out there. But there are things happening that are just undeniable. And when you see the occult system, you better believe if they believe in a devil and Satan, there's a reason why they believe that.
Hey, you remember one of those off the top of your head, Snafu, where the smiley face, the punctuation was found?
Yeah, they're all over.
Okay. I know I highlighted one or two.
Yeah, it's all over, Jack. And it's just like the grammar and punctuation too. How I showed you where the period, and then now it's lowercase, and then like it's darker entities. Like it used to be sparrows, and now it's raven. And the only reason I know so much about this is because I worked with the prison. I ran the prison ministry, when I was locked up. So I mean, I've dealt with so many people of different religions, the Muslims, the Christians, this, but I remember what my book said before the Mandela hit, and we were told it was going to hit. But it is truly fascinating when you look at it.
How about C3PO? I'm always talking about the golden bull like my icon, and now he is missing a golden calf, like golden calf worship. That's weird. That's weird.
And it's not even that. Think of like the optics of what we see with this Neuralink and the China Sun simulator. And our own military boys, Steve, I have combat veteran friends that I would trust them 1,000,000%, whatever they told me. And they told me that when they were out in the Middle East or whatever, they said some of their missions were to fucking literally go to old ass museums and get these weird ass things that they called Stargates, like old fucking antique looking fucking just shit. And then of course with the space farce, the new military thing with the symbol of the Sphinx, and then of course CERN doing their ritualistic bullshit, before these, if they believe in Satan, you best believe the other side's there too, and they know it. But the technology is with the B system, and I think we're going to see more of these messaging and more of the waking up, so to speak, ramp up.
Yeah, CERN's got Cali the Destroyer out front. It's the Caliphate. It's the fate of Cali to get destroyed. Everybody on YouTube does seem to hate God, Snafu. I agree with you on that. I saw that clip of you, and I commented on it. But
I thought it was a very powerful clip because it showed a panel within a panel. I thought it was powerful because it showed a panel within a panel. Like literally everyone, there was one person, me, standing up for God and Jesus, whether you're a believer or not. So all those believers who are watching it, that showed a panel and a panel of the mocking of God and Jesus. And now everyone just...
Well, yeah, I'm about to drop some real truth here, Snaps. So all I see going on YouTube is nothing but the predictive programming of agreeing with the media and allowing Islam into the country. First, it was cover your face. Then it was go green. Both are like Islam. And now you have the streets of many cities in the country cheering on pro-Hamas. Am I saying Israel's the chosen? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying these same people protesting would go to these countries and get beheaded for their lifestyle. It's like chickens for KFC. It's bullshit.
And that's why the no-hide laws are still continued here in the States by every president.
And that's why it's a pandemic. No, listen to this, Snaff. It's a pandemic, and Pan is the goat-headed god of pedophilia, like the goat-headed Baphomet statue. Now, do you get this, Jack? Baphomet? That's where the word Mohammed comes from. Weird, because Mohammed married a 6-year-old girl. Why is no one talking about that? Why do I get silenced normally?
Well, it's kind of like that clip. Smith, it's like that clip.
This is something else. Cuck, get the fuck out of here with that. I'm not doing it.
I think we're going to witness a lot more cult, ritualistic New World Order type shit, B system stuff being normalized.
I think people have their eyes slammed, like the word Islam, 2 words, I slam, and a needle user is called a slammer. So take the hijab and wear your hijab.
And the mask thing is 100% right. Like, look at the memes, covering up the face. It
translates to buffoon or mockery. It's Cube Trust the Plan. That's what Q Trust the Plan was. I never believed in it. I called it out from day one. It was the Quran coming to America. Q Trust the Plan. The writer
and you got to think, if we come into a Gentile type, you got to think.
Let me ask you something. Hold on,
Gentile type issue, Steve, because you know military shit. You know how it's going to click off with militias and different communities, and then gangs, and just like we saw chat. Think about the no-hide laws. If we're under martial law, it'll be the United Nations and of course the World Health Organization, which leads to the CCP and other countries, basically policing here in the United States. You will have an uprise, but because we are Hollywooded up, we are all gangster or militia or fucking Americaned up, and we are fat and full. The sacrificial lamb, the fall of Babylon. That's why I feel it'll be one of the most. That's why I feel when they say no one will ever see anything like it. Like what could happen with the fall of Babylon. I believe it. We have been fattened up for the most sacrificial sacrifices among them all in a New World Order way, and that's why the know-how. Like Smith is on it. From what I research, this is what we're witnessing. We're witnessing prophecy be fulfilled. The occult, the B system, Luciferian, Antichrist.
Revelation 18:17.
Yeah, but it's all made up, right? It's all a human conceptualization of what the fuck. The future is going to bring from a book that was written how many thousand years ago? I mean,
But
you
what
can
if it's not
always,
even the book? Because
but you can always take a puzzle piece, snafu, and you can make it fit if you wanted to. You
well,
know
no,
what I mean?
no. Here's what's weird. I don't even believe it's the book. Okay, when I say hypothesis, because think about it, the Egyptian religion has the same stories as Jesus, right? They have a guy who supposedly died and crucified for 3 days, rose again, and the same with the Egyptian religion. They had like a little baby put in the
Gilgamesh.
Nile,
There's
like
several
the same
stories.
stories in the Christian religion are the same stories from the Egyptian religion, way that predates it. Again, the deception goes even
so they
farther.
say.
That's why,
Does that mean it didn't happen?
Is like a piece of sand on a beach. Like we really are just like our knowledge is probably considered to a piece of grain of sand on a beach to the actual truth that we know.
Safu, because it mimics another story, does that mean to you that it didn't happen? And also, I wanted to ask you if the should or shall in the Bible that you're talking about, John 3:16, that's not a Mandela effect, or is it? Or I haven't opened up the Bible.
And actually, Philippians 5:10 that said the word should or shall too. Philippians 5:10 also said should or shall. It has been changed, just like
It's always said shall. Thou shalt not kill. That shall not. It's never should.
No, Philippians 5:10 is the one he was talking about. He mentioned John 3:16. The verse he's probably talking about is Philippians 5:10.
I'm talking about John 3:16, the most well-known verse of all time.
And it's a Mandela effect, you're saying.
And then, like I said, there's residual evidence, like the lion and lamb one. We know the lamb or the lion was the tribe of Judah. But like I was showing
I've
Jack,
heard that, and I tried to bring that up to the Bible scholar, but he was, I was like, okay, well, let's move to the most well-known verse of all time. That's John 3:16. Every kid learns that in Sunday school. Everyone knows it who goes to church. And they've changed it.
But whether you're
not
religious,
a bunch of people with erasers erasing everybody's Bible while they're at work. It's the Lord of this
Let's think
world.
about it this way, though, too. Whether you're religious or not, there is some kind of ritual occult that is of existence that they have now using technology to push this whatever. I mean, they're literally doing rituals with things like CERN or things to this nature. So when you say, and we witnessed the whole Egyptian mixed with the Christian story, but we're also witness our own military, especially U.S. military, the newest the newest branch of the military, right, has the Sphinx, a fucking Sphinx on the logo. Like we are witnessing the systematic setup of the beast system. That's why I have my belief, Steve. But in my opinion, prophecy is being fulfilled at the highest rate. My opinion, and the elites know it.
The best thing to do is stock up on as much ammo as you can and be prepared to protect yourself. Have some canned goods. Let's do prepping. We can talk about gardening and you're going to have, all of us are just going to have to learn how to take care of our fucking selves, because if it comes, a lot of people are going to be fucked, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to say.
I think you would know. Did you do a lot of traveling in the military, Steve?
Yeah, of course it is.
So look at where we're at, and the average American probably really has no clue what it's like overseas.
Absolutely not. Not a clue.
And it's nowhere as bad as anyone says either.
It's better than where we have it here in many cases.
Areas. It's only in certain. It's like war zones.
There's going to be an actual boots on the ground war, and it's going to be Revelation 18:17. It's going to be 1 hour. It's going to be 1 hour. We're in the information war right now as they're getting the final shit in place. Mm-hmm. They've already fleeced us for how many hundreds of billions of dollars in just the last 2 years.
In all reality, all I can do is teach my family, my close friends, my kids how to take care of themselves, and basically they're going to have to do that while I'm not here. I've got maybe 30 years to go, I'm assuming. So that's all I'm really planning on doing is teaching my kids to learn how to take care of themselves, keep their minds open, and look
that's
past all this bullshit. I couldn't imagine my kids being on these. Well, I mean, I couldn't imagine my kids. They watch the show actually, and so we talk about it. And they're like, "Wow, that guy did this, and that's crazy." And they think that all of us old people are, there's something. Yeah, they do. They don't think about any of this stuff. So
I kind of think
but they're also the type of people that would use AAA to probably change a tire, right, Steve?
Go ahead.
What's
Snaps.
that?
I'm not trying to be mean towards your children or anything, but most the kids nowadays, I know my little brother and others, they're the type that would use AAA to change a fucking simple car tire because they're so used to being or having things done or handled, same as relying on government, so to speak. Like people forget what foreign and domestic means.
These panels,
so
panels are like voting, and if they made any difference, they wouldn't let us do them. So God bless y'all. Have a good night.
See you,
Jesus
bud.
is the way, the truth, and the light. Christ is King.
Right on.
Go Smith,
So,
go.
no, my kids, they all know how to drive a stick. They knew how to drive a stick before they were allowed to drive a car. I taught them how to change their tires. You know what I mean? A lot of
I
kids'
guess I'm
parents
saying
don't do
more.
that. Yeah, you're right. A lot
I'm
of kids'
saying, well,
parents
not
don't
your.
do that.
I could see you teaching your, just because the type of guy you are, from what I could see. So I could see you, teaching your children that. But like on a general of most, like I said, they did that thing where they took kids out, or people out in the woods and said, make a spoon. And these people just literally got leaves or flat sticks, and then you only had like 2 people actually whittle spoons to make a spoon. The others just improvise, like quick, on the run, fly. And that just showed us where we're at. Like if we have to start making our own flour, if we have to start making our own fucking wheat again, if we have to start doing everything that other countries are used to on an everyday basis.
Well, Snafu, we talked about this before. Or I even think your buddy Flow State had a panel about, is food a right? Something along those lines. And as of today, it is. They've made it that way to where we can only get our food from grocery stores. Most people can't have a garden. They can't have livestock. They can't have cattle. You know what I mean? Chickens or goats. It's really just a government made direction where they're trying to control every fucking thing. So, if you don't have good parents, or parents at least have an objective mind of like, hey, I need to teach these children of mine to be able to survive without me, you're right. You're going to have a lot of those kids who need AAA to change a fucking tire when they have a jack in the car. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Do you worry about our country, where it stands, and your kids' future?
No,
especially since you don't. You think
I think they're going to be.
You think they'd be on panels like this at your age now, or do you think the country is about to change like in a different way? Because I'm curious. You've been in the military.
No, as long as the power companies are going to be supplied with diesel or coal or however they're making their power, nothing's really going to change much, other than the quality of life isn't going to be as good as we have it right now. I think it's going to be a little bit worse.
So you really don't think, you can't see the foreign invasion, so to speak, in our politics, the big theater show as it is, but you really think that it'll be the same for your children's kind of, not like maybe a little worse, but nothing like Africa or Russia or like war zone, you don't think
America can't turn that
within your lifetime?
Go ahead, Scott. What?
I don't think America would turn that way. I mean, the Emperor of Japan, when they attacked Pearl Harbor, when asked why he didn't go further to the mainland, he's like, it would be suicide. Too many guns. That's back.
That's the thing that protected us from invasion is
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
I would love to see the future bring the fact that our government has failed. It's gone out of money. We're no longer supporting other countries. We're no longer sending aid to other countries because we can't fucking afford it anymore. And then we can start focusing on the people here, the many inhabitants of this continental side, our own people. And I say our own people, which is everybody on this panel, every color, every race, anywhere they came from. They're here now. Well, guess what? You're getting taken care of. We can't do it.
Hey,
we can't do it to anybody else no more. Like
Mr. TBE is foot's on the ground right now.
Yo, hold on, man. We gotta rewind back. I gotta stamp out this bullshit about Jesus in Egypt. There is no fucking parallel whatsoever to the Egyptian story.
So what's the stories then? Because the stories are out there, and they were there predated. That you could look at it, like the story of the some dude resurrected. See, I have my own thoughts about it. I'm just saying, the stories are there.
Yeah, but TBE hasn't heard it yet, so he doesn't know. So since he doesn't know, it doesn't exist. I'm assuming. Is that what you're saying, TBE? Since you don't know that the story of Egypt has similarities to the stories of Jesus? because there is.
Like some of the
I'm
stories
about
were.
to explain it to you, Jack.
I'm sorry for
Okay.
interrupting.
I'm
Well, that's all on you guys. You know where I'm at on that. So
interrupting.
Well, no, I'd like to hear TB because it's
feel
hard for me
free.
because I do have my values. You know, I believe in God, but see, I gotta admit what I see is optics and truth. And the Egyptian stories are identical to the story of the
No,
resurrection,
they're
the
not at
story of
all.
Moses and the baby. It's identical.
Their
12
similarities
disciples.
are
There's
not the
no
same.
king visitation. There's no. Uh,
Most importantly, no ascension.
okay, there's loaded language. Just because you're washed in water, that's not a baptism. Okay, this is poor. I mean, where's the source for these things anyway? And the resurrection. Are you saying Osiris being cut up in pieces and then pieced back together? That's the same as the story of Jesus. Come on, man.
No, I'd
This
have
is
to
fucking
double look and
terrible.
research, but it was almost identical that he
See,
Go
you
back
guys
and
are
look at
fucking
Gilgamesh. It's not the
original.
same. It's not the same.
How
It's
about
not the same though. It
Can
just
I?
makes me wonder: is it an like it just is so identical and just so?
Hey,
That's a
yes.
touchy subject. Trust me, I get
No,
it. That's why I brought it up.
it is, but it's actually explainable. Terence McKenna presented a lot of ideas. I think he presented the ideas of novelty. And that's what nature is. That's what God reveals. God reveals everything. Everything is the same, yet no thing is the same. Everything is unique. It's just told in different ways. And there's stories throughout history that are repeated. So why would we? I can accept the possibility, in fact, the probability that the story of a divine being with instruction and a path to salvation has been gifted to humanity before. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong necessarily with kind of what you're trying to get across there, Jack. But it also doesn't make sense to just believe in outright lies and false claims. Like what Snafu is alluding to originates from a Freemason known as Gerald Macy, who made up all these false claims about these dying and rising Christs and stuff. And none of it actually has any validity whatsoever. There is no crucified Egyptian god that has 12 disciples who dies for 3 days. Like
No,
this
but
is
it's
not
close
even.
enough. It's close enough.
It's
Somebody
not
died.
even a thing. So I mean,
Right.
it just doesn't make sense to believe in
Well,
bullshit,
no,
right? I mean,
I truly understand
Let's
what you're
stop
saying because
slopping up
that's
gore
actually one
slop
of the
for
things I'd like to hear from
Freemasons.
both you guys because the stories are so identical in so many ways. I mean, even
but
No, it's not
they're
at
not.
all.
That's what we're saying. No, but see, like there is this concept in Christianity known as logos spermaticus, like the story of all time is weaved through all of history and through all of nature and through all of reality. So that even is justification alone for what people would call astrotheology. Yes, if the gospel is true, the gospel is written in the stars. Like it would have to be, right? Because
that would be more explainable.
God is the author of all things, right?
See,
So
and I could
if
accept that because that one has always been one of those faith testing things for me, but I still stand strong with my belief and my thing because trust me, it's hard for me to sit here saying, "Oh, I believe God," but then hey, you got to look at there was identical stories of resurrection because they were according
have
to
you
Christianity.
ever
But
heard
your
of a
explanation on that kind of I could dig that. I could dig that way.
Is that I mean, this is like the Zeitgeist movie thing is what you're talking about. Okay, like 99% of every single claim made in that book is outright just bullshit lies that have zero sources and none of it's actually really true. Are there parallels in other religions that kind of are similar to Christianity? Yes. In fact, though, what's interesting is most of the ones that are paralleled actually are post-Christianity. And then a lot of times people try to act as if they were pre-Christian, and that's not the case. I mean, like Hinduism has evolved and has segmented and has so many different variations of it that have come post-Christianity that some of them, like some stories of Krishna, do mimic the story of Christ, but they come after Christianity. So
right.
I mean,
Have you ever heard of this concept called poisoning the well? It's when you just jam up these concepts all together, have people fucking confused, and end up like, oh well, we can't trust anything. Look, it's all similar. It's all one big lie. Once we throw all the fucking diarrhea out into the fucking metaverse for people to slop up this fucking meme research bullshit information, it's fucking laughable.
Well,
Like, get
and
your
that
shit together, folks.
and that would
Really?
be that would be the ultimate goal, right? If we are really under some kind of grand delusion and we're being
Yeah,
controlled,
because everyone's denying Christ that I see in God.
we
Period.
have to. If you want to re-educate a population, the first step is to make sure that they believe everything they already knew was a complete lie. That's the first step in re-education, and then you have to re-educate them in the way that you want to.
That makes sense. And you know, no, I'm glad we're having this conversation because it is deep, especially for those who believe and those who don't. Like, I get it. But I feel we're witnessing prophecy being fulfilled at the highest rate, period. You can't change what, you know, some of us think, you know, but
Well,
my whole issue is that there is a great deception. And even within believers, like it is kind of one of those things, like the poison the well, like you said.
I mean, I try to always look at it from outside of any kind of paradigm. Like, I'm just not going to believe in something that is like obvious bullshit, right? I mean, like it doesn't matter if I believe in Jesus Christ or not, right? Like, why would I believe in something that you do like? And this is the problem with the quote unquote truther community all the time, is that they just outright accept these meme level things, you know, and run with it.
I'll tell you what, though, it's something that can make you open your mind a little bit, or at least open your eyes, you know, to look at something that you may have not looked before, but then to run away with it and then think of it as just, hey, this is just how it is. You know, that's a different story. But
You said you were raised Catholic, right, Steve?
Yes.
So, like, did you guys did the whole praying to like Saint Mary and stuff, like to the?
I was baptized when I was a baby.
Okay,
but we never
So
went to church regularly. So,
okay, I was just curious.
no, Christmas Mass, Christmas Eve Mass, that was pretty much the most church that I was given. But at least that was my mother. Other family members, they're much more into going to church weekly, daily. I mean, not my mother. She didn't raise me that strict into it. Kind of let me do what I wanted, really.
So, where exactly now? You profess to be a believer in Christ, Snafu. Where were you going to go with that? What would be the issue with asking the mother of Jesus Christ to pray for you? What would be the?
I was just thinking we were talking about how all religions could be, even from back in the past to now, can incorporate each stories from them and that, and again, Catholics, you know, do the whole prayers to the saints, I guess you say, and then you got like the Baptists or non-denominationals that don't, like, you know, the whole religion thing has me kind of like, wow, you know, a lot of this people are just doing rituals in their own sense, so to speak, you know, for the higher power. I just thought, I was thinking about how American religions, which the two biggest ones, I guess, would be Catholic and Christianity, you know, Baptists or non-denominational or Mormons or things like that. And I was just thinking about the things that they do that are all the same versus the things they do completely different. And then they blame each other and say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or, oh, you should be doing that, or the whole fucking division of it all. That's what was on my mind. I was just thinking about that.
Hey, we got 50 people in here. Hit that like button. We only got 23 likes. That's not enough to share this around.
Well, I mean, it's Christianity is one faith and one church. When we're talking about denominations, that's strictly the fallible nature of man, and this is user error. Of course, I mean, what can you say? The church is filled with sinners. You know, it's for sinners. It's a hospital. But yeah, I mean, the division is division. That's just how man is. You know.
But what I do notice, okay,
They're
what
selfish,
I notice the
they're
most is the
selfish,
denial. the denial of God. Okay, whether you're religious, whether you're not, what I have noticed a lot, and that's why I like the clip I put on, is because it was a panel within a panel, and it was just the fact of the minute you said God, the minute you talked about Jesus, click, goodbye, peace, and then no one's standing up. Whoever has it right, I just know that there is a huge agenda of denying a higher power. I see that.
Yeah, but like,
I see it's kind of the opposite, really. Especially in these communities, there's very few atheists that I stumble upon in these communities. I don't see anybody denying a higher power. What I see most often is people believing that they are the higher power. Is what I see more often in these communities.
I see that.
And they love
I see that too.
clipping. They love clipping the part of the Bible, "The kingdom of God is within you." So they're like, "Oh, fuck you, Jesus. The kingdom of God's already here. I don't need you." That's it. They love like it's like a grocery store. They just pick what they want from any worldview and any religion. It's just like this. I like this. I'm gonna use this to accessorize my personality. I'm so spiritual. Look at me go. Christianity isn't a.
So do
I
you
think
think
I'm
you guys
considered an
you want-
atheist, but I don't really believe in it at all, whether yay or nay. So I'm not really sure what kind of scale I'm on, compared to what, people would judge me, through what your beliefs are.
Yeah, well, I'll make an exception for Flow State and you, Steve. I know you guys are kind of borderline atheist agnostics or something. I don't know.
Well, I grew up being somewhat
Like
agnostic because I
vibration.
just felt it was like, oh, hey, you don't believe there is or isn't. You just kind of don't care. At least that's how it was explained to me until you actually
Yeah, right.
research the definition. But then I found that, not if it's Christians or whoever, but basically, if you don't believe in God, then you're atheist. At least
is it something you think about constantly, or something you don't even care about really? Like, just curious. Like, do you think like, oh, I'm open and I'm still kind of finding that journey to feel if I find a God or could believe in it or blah blah, or do you just have that attitude of like, just whatever?
Oh, I was closed-minded forever, man. I tell you, up until these panels, and actually, like with Jack, and just listening, to people talk about their faith. I'm like, yeah, I was really looking hard at myself. I'm like, have I really been that close-minded? Like, because I've always just pushed it away, and I have a devil tattooed on my leg to prove how much I don't want to believe in God. So, and it's like, wow, have I been really this stupid all these years? I'm, pushing it
Wait,
away.
what you have you said you have a devil?
Well, a commercial image of a devil tattoo.
Well, wouldn't that presuppose the existence of God?
Exactly, right? How stupid is that? Right? So, but here's the story though: is in the Marine Corps, I had bought a Pantera T-shirt, and it was like this devil image on the back of the shirt. I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, and so I got it tattooed on my leg. And my mom was pissed, and she's still pissed to this day. But I didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like I always just kind of pushed away, and then now I've trying to open up to listen, and it is way more confusing than I could ever imagine, of just the dichotomy of this and that, and how no one agrees. Everyone's interpretations of this is just different, and it's really a headache. To be honest with you, it's I won't say that I've.
Well, yeah.
chosen,
I mean, yeah. Wouldn't you imagine the mystery of God being something not so easily explained? And knowing how men are amongst themselves and each other, like, and let's put God in that conversation, how contentious that could be. I think that's a naturally, I think that's just going to happen, and I think you just need to get over that and sort of, I don't know, look into it a little more in depth than just going, well, this seems a little too much. My hands are up. I'm exhausted.
No, it's not like that. I didn't mean it like that. It's like I was trying to look into it, but there was just so much more fighting
Steve,
that I'm observing, and I'm like, well, this is just not really what. How am I going to learn it?
Steve,
So
one of my favorite scriptures, like I tell people, even if you look at it as a poem or if you look at it as the word, it's Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not in your own understanding. Now, your Lord, your higher power, but lean on your own understanding, because like he just said, denominations were of men, these religious denominations. But the fact of you seeking or being open to it, that's the start period. I feel like that's huge.
And two is I feel like, I'm a good person. It originally always started that if I'm being good and I'm doing good and I'm trying to be better than I was the next day, I'm trying to better people around me. I haven't needed it to be a big driving, vessel in my life.
Hey,
Can I?
hey, EBT, should I give Steve the Ray Comfort treatment? Have you ever lied, sir? Have you ever lied?
No, I can't stand
Have
that.
you ever taken the Lord's name in vain?
Hey, can I jump in real quick? I'm going to step out very briefly, but Steve, what you just shared, your honesty, and I understand. I feel what you're saying. I never thought I needed God either, because I was a good man. I followed the way of the Christ in my own way, trying to be good. But you know what I found out? It's a hell of a lot easier when we trust in a higher power, in a force that is greater than ourselves. It becomes easier to be good. So that's what I think for myself. Thank you.
Well, here's
I would
one.
just I would just like to add to what Jack's saying is, though, that a lot of people, in a faith that presupposes that there is doubt within that as well, right? So anybody that's going to claim they know the intricacies of God and his essence and his energy and how he works and all this kind of stuff, if somebody claims to know the abject reality of that as a whole, then that should be something that you should turn away from.
Is
And
that
then
is that a pot shot against Palmas over here?
Answer this,
no,
me,
no, no,
fellas.
no, not direct. No, not directly, because even Palamas is saying that you don't. Because I mean, the whole part of the essence energy's distinction is that you can't not really, actually, truly. It's a personal God, but you can't truly understand.
Right. And
Understand the essence.
Wait a minute. Why is there such a drive when you guys, or not say you guys, but generally to me, what I'm perceiving is that when I tell people how I truly feel about a higher power, about my spiritualness, there's always a need of, well, you need to look into it more. You need to do this, and you need to. Why is there such a push? Why can't it just be accepted? Like, hey, that dude really doesn't. He's not into it. Let's let him be that way.
Oh well,
Why
no.
is
I mean,
that
I'm
there?
just
Yeah,
saying.
no, I liked where you were at. I agreed with what seems like you're on a path, and I'm not even. I don't know that I'm. And it's one of those things. When you say something, then you're going to come off as some kind of, dogmatist or something like. Well, I know what the truth is, and well, obviously you're not there yet, so you got to keep on looking. All that's not something I'm going to claim necessarily, but or even just
that's a
Jack,
fair
even just
question.
Jack saying that,
when you become so
everybody's on their own
ecumenical
path.
about it, when you become so ecumenical about it, you sort of default into this weird universalist position, EBT. I mean, it's the truth or it's the truth or it's not.
Well, I mean, the orthodox position is kind of universalist, though. If you
No, it's not. Shut up. We're not going to get into that here.
I mean, you guys don't even really believe in hell.
That's
so,
not
I mean,
true, and you know it, Mr. Nuance.
You guys don't even believe in hell.
Sit your ass down, Mr. Nuance.
Or the rapture.
Well, the rapture's a fake
never even
You
mentioned.
guys argue so much about all avenues of the Bible and your beliefs and your conceptions. It's very discerning for me because like the dogma, being gay. A lot I hear people, Christians, Catholics, whoever, they're very against it. And I don't think that's right. So that's why I kind of don't want to follow it. Like, who the fuck am I to say that you liking another woman or you liking another man is wrong? Because I don't want a book to tell me how I'm supposed to feel.
Well,
or react or
you don't
something.
even have to go to the book, though. We just go to natural law, right? Like being a faggot is
Ding,
obviously
ding,
Pee
ding.
pee and the poo poo
Yeah,
don't work,
simple like
bro.
that,
it don't
Steve.
work.
It doesn't work, but who are we to say that you can or can't do something? You know
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
let's just go in
Did it
that
go
position.
against defiance of natural law?
Okay,
Simple.
so
You can
okay,
do
so
it.
now we're
You can do it. You
adopting
can
the
engage
moral
in it.
relativist position now. Okay, so who is anybody to tell anybody what to do?
Pretty much. I mean,
Okay, so let me take a hammer and smash your head into a burger because that's how I feel. That's okay.
honestly,
Right.
I mean,
Is
you
that
can
okay
do
with
that.
you?
You can do that, but it's not okay with me. What you think we have rights? We
So
don't have
that's
rights. It's a
so in
human.
Steve's
You
world.
don't.
In
You don't have a
Steve's
right.
world, that it's just every man for himself. Survival of the fittest. Just
It's negative rights, I would say. I would answer that and say
No,
it's
it's
negative
calling
rights.
being good and doing good. If you want to be a bad person, then you have
but
a
there's
right
a
to fucking be
logical
a bad person.
conclusion to what you're espousing. Oh well, it's has nothing to do with me. Whatever, it's.
So
So
if you're a
Steve, are
fag,
you
if you're a
okay?
fag, why is that bad in God's eyes? If you're gay, if you're a fag,
Is
or
it
if you're a
natural?
dyke,
Is it natural even? Like,
and
is it even natural?
how
That
do
should
we
be the
know?
simplest thing.
How do
But
we even know?
even
It just
without
wasn't
God,
invented.
even without God, is it
Just
natural?
it wasn't just invented.
Well,
It had been
there's
around for a long
nothing
time.
there's nothing saying that God would not ultimately accept you, though. I mean,
Okay, well that's what I'm
but
saying. I get most resistance is like, oh well, being a homosexual, that's not good. And I just don't think I should have any kind of power to judge someone else or treat someone else differently
Steve,
because
are you gay?
no, I love
Oh,
vagina.
okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure there,
Married,
buddy.
man. 12 years,
Yeah.
Maybe
13 years
bisexual?
married. So
yeah,
I have 4 kids.
that's kind
Okay.
of a gay
Well, gay
response. Yeah,
people can have.
No, it's
Gay
not
I
a
people
gay
love
don't
the
have
response.
vagina.
kids.
I
I,
love the vagina.
when they passed the
Oh
law
yeah,
that they
vagina.
allowed gay
I'm all
marriage
about
and they
that.
allowed gay people to marry, I was like, that's fucking great. Who the
Didn't
fuck are
Elton
we
John have
to tell
kids?
somebody they're not allowed to get
Yeah,
fucking
more
married?
of like the rainbow. Let's just fucking blasphemy the rainbow, just like let's blasphemy natural law. Gay's okay. I mean,
It
I
should
get
be.
what you're saying.
Why
Like, I
can't it
have
be?
no issues with friends that are gay or whatever. Like, I get it, but it is against natural law. And according to my beliefs, according to that, yeah, it is absolutely blasphemous and it is absolutely immoral, in my opinion.
Well, aren't there
And
goat fuckers? Don't people fuck goats? Is that
well, they're
natural?
fucking goat fucking blasphemy fucking fucktards too.
You know
Then
what I'm saying? A lot of people do some shit, but why are we have to judge them
so
or even
Hey, look.
care?
I mean, let's just look at what's happened when people were fucking crying about the couple not making fucking gay fucking cakes for that married couple. Look what they always brought up. They're like, it's a slippery slope. It's not one deviance lead to the next. Well, look where we are now. Look, they've said that exact same bullshit slippery slope argument at every step of the descent of where we are now.
Well, and that situation is totalitarian in and of itself, saying that, well, you make cakes, you must make cake for gay. Like, like
Yeah, but why do we have to judge people? Why?
you
I,
gotta
I,
make
I mean,
some
your belief is
cupcakes.
telling you to judge someone
why
because
do
of
I
what
have
they're
to
doing.
why do I have to accept somebody?
Why do you? Well, that's what I'm saying. Why do you don't have to?
Well, what does it say
But
about
I
it?
have to because I'll get sued if I don't make some gay some
If I don't
cupcakes
believe
now.
in the same spiritualness that you do, now I have to believe that, and I don't want to believe that. So I think everyone should be free and free will, do what you want. If you want to go out and kill people, well, you can. You're going to get in trouble for it. You'll be punished for it eventually, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't
Well, I
control it.
guess religiously, do you don't think you could be punished the same way for disobeying? Such as the
No
gay thing.
different than
Why
you
do you
would.
Does the
think they take
Bible
a
actually
stance
say
on
what
that?
to do about gayness? Does it prescribe action there?
I mean, it's very cut and clear for those who believe and know
Well,
scripture
if we
about gay.
rewind a little
It's
bit,
very obvious, like about like everyone knows, even in other religions. I mean, and that's a big topic. I've heard
Well,
many people
I'm
say
not
the
saying
exact
it's
same thing.
natural. I'm
Why would I
asking.
do that?
Right.
If I like, how can you say one people are bad? And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it's a blasphemy. It's a sin. It's not natural.
Well, for starters, there's a presupposition that you're making there, as if the sole authority for a Christian is a book, which is
Right.
not what traditional Christianity holds to, for one.
Correct.
But yes, there are. Is there a direct commandment saying thou shalt not put pee pee in the poo poo? No, there is no actual verse that I can bring up that tells you not to put pee pee in the poo poo.
Well, it says it's an
But-
abomination, but I guess my question is, does it prescribe what like third parties should do?
Well, I mean, it's
Okay,
pretty
it
clear.
says
God,
it's an abomination, but if you look at where it says there'll be scoffers, liars, and fornicators, and things that. So if you're
Well-
abomination and you're committing fornication, is that you won't enter the kingdom? It's very cut and clear on homosexuality.
I mean, if you look at the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, I mean, that's pretty much the main reason why that place
Boom.
got fucking nuked, is because they
Nuked.
tried to rape the fucking two angels accompanying
Yep.
Lot.
And then
Well,
they still are
but,
testing
I
it,
mean,
and
but
there's
that's
sulfur
weird,
in the
though, right?
sand even to this day. Even
Are-
to this
are you-
day, there's sulfur in the sand.
How are you gonna rape angels though? Is the weird thing, though. I mean, that story is weird. I mean, really, when you look at it, it's pretty a fucked up situation. But yeah, I mean, I would.
I mean,
just,
there are
I-
direct. I mean, there are.
I just would not appeal to scripture for this case, and I would just appeal to natural law. There's obviously there's no benefit for pee pee and the poo poo. It's not going to result in anything that's going to promote human society whatsoever. Now, if you want to do that behind, and I'm not going to go full libertarian here, but I mean, like, yeah, if you're going to engage in that behavior, I mean, that is what you're going to do, right? I mean, like, can I ultimately judge you for eternity? No, not so ever. But I can disagree with your behavior, right? I mean, we'd have to agree that we can disagree with another person's behavior, right? Otherwise, that is a slippery slope, right? Because you're not going to be able, if you can't make a judgment on pee pee and the poo poo, how are you going to make a judgment on another man killing another man?
Well, I guess I'm not yet.
What if it's poo poo in the pee pee?
I understand that Christianity is pretty clear that that's an abomination, right? It says it explicitly.
Yeah, it
but
says
it
it in
doesn't-
Leviticus, and I'm pretty sure it says it in
Right.
Deuteronomy too. But
It would seem to me though
There's
that,
multiple
that-
stories. But again, we take out the God equation,
Okay.
like you said, just the laws of nature. You're gonna put two men on an island, and they're gonna fucking survive, fucking each other,
Right.
build a life,
I
build
guess my
community.
point is that I don't see how that becomes between anybody except for those people and God.
Well, you guys are referring to sex right off the bat. Like, I know there will be a lot of people that don't have sex to love another person. If another man wants to love a man, then fucking love him. Who am I to tell him that you can't? You can't change how someone fucking feels about something. Just like with the religion, everyone seems to like they want to change me. I'm not saying here. I appreciate everyone's discourse for having here, but it's like just be free to do whatever the fuck you want. If you believe in something, then believe in it. Well, don't make me have to believe it too. You know what I mean? Unless you're, murdering and killing people, really, what else is there? It's like, just be good.
But is it like trying to make you believe in it, or are you just trying to understand it? Because I see it more of a discussion.
I'm trying
of
to understand
understanding
how
each
I'm
other
supposed to believe in a higher
Because
power.
I do get there's a lot of people that like push it. Like you get those Jehovah's on your doorstep, or I do. I get it, Steve, but I'm kind of thinking discussions like this are good for both sides, both for non-believers and believers. I
see
do
the
think
positives, nephew.
Yeah.
I see the positives of it. I see why people believe. I see how it helps them and everything that they need help with. But when I have to follow a certain dogma of the way I have to believe a certain things, because if I don't, God will be mad at me or God will be upset. Like, I just don't believe in that, man. Like, when they passed a law that, same-sex marriage, I was like, it should have been that way. Like, who are we to tell somebody that they can't get married because of what was written in some book or some belief? It's one thing that
what is marriage in the first place?
That depends on what you mean by marriage. Yeah,
what is marriage in the first place?
If a secular government wants to okay a union between two guys, I mean that's up to the government, I guess. But I don't know. It would be up to. I mean, as a Christian, you'd have to you'd have to reject that. But
Can I ask if any of you all had sex before marriage? Because that's fornication, and that's considered an abomination.
Oh, I've done a lot of sins,
So-
man. Definitely sex before marriage, done drugs, philandering,
yeah,
all
I mean,
types of
there's-
different
there's-
shit.
Program for life.
What's your point?
Why are you so harsh
Yeah, what's the
on
matter?
instead of everyone that's having
It's
sex
called.
before?
It's called.
It's called
okay,
throwing your
so
sins from the east to the
hold
west.
on, hold
Forgiving.
Okay, there's one thing to do those things. It's another thing to not repent and continue to do those things. Okay.
So every time you have sex, that's not your wife, you repent afterwards?
Well,
Are
if
you
it's a
atheist or-
sincere
are you atheist?
repentance, I mean,
Just kidding.
if you're just gonna, I mean, if you're just gonna keep falling back into it, I mean, that's on you. I mean, repentance is a free will action. I mean, you have to want to do it.
And there's a true thing of true repentance. It's not like you just go commit something and say, "Okay, I'm
Right.
sorry."
It's not like the slander against
What I'm
Catholics.
hearing is,
Oh,
is
they
you
just go
are
to mass
okay
every Sunday and
because
it's all
you
good.
commit that
They just
abomination,
go and do
but
whatever they
you're trying
want.
to dismiss homosexuals. What you do is okay, but
Yeah, I'm going to dismiss homosexuals according to natural law. Natural law.
Hold on,
Natural law. Are we not forgetting about natural law, folks? I mean, are we biology? Are we not forgetting about fucking natural law and biology?
Well, she's not talking about
God.
that. Hold on.
Forget God.
Bible says they are both
Yeah,
abominations.
it's a mental illness.
It's a cacophony right here.
Hold on.
I'm going to
Let
say
her
it's
say what
mental illness. All the
I think it's
facts out
fucking
there.
gross. It's gross. I get grossed out when I see it, but I don't think I should be in any position to not let someone do what they want to do as long as it's not hurting anyone else.
No, I'm just going to call for what it is, mental illness. It's not
Okay,
right
we
natural
got
law.
you, Snafu. Heard.
So,
Okay, so if it's a mental illness, why would it be an abomination? Wouldn't you be trying to help them with this illness rather than,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That would be the purpose.
trying to punish them for something that they...
Who's
punishing?
Who's punishing? What? I
Who's
mean, like,
punishing?
what are you talking about?
How would you help
How
them?
do you treat them? Yeah.
What, by telling them they have a mental illness? If I was fucked up and someone said, "Snaps, you're fucking up. You need help." Blah blah. Yeah, telling them fucking someone the same thing that we're doing. It's not attacking them. That's weaponized bullshit.
How's that helping them, though?
Letting them, for one, know you're fucking got a mental illness. You're going against the nature of law, motherfucker. You think it's fucking.
Snafu people tell you that all the time, and you ignore them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So she should understand what they feel. But we're not attacking. Do I say you're attacking me? I have lately because I'm trying to pick on the victim status now.
Would you deliberately let your child go into a dangerous situation? Like, just say putting their hand on a hot stove. Would you stop them from putting their hand on the hot stove? Would you reprimand them for that? Or would you continually let them burn their hand on the stove? What is true love in that situation? Letting your child burn their hand continuously, or stopping them from burning their hand and advising them that you shouldn't burn your hand on the stove anymore?
I don't think that's an accurate comparison, though.
It's kind of. I mean, I see where you're going with that. If you tell them to stop, then they won't know to get burned, or let them burn themselves and they won't do it again because they learned on their own. Either way you look at it, they're going to learn a lesson.
Well, it wasn't exactly about the scenario of the burning of the hand. It's the scenario of what actual true love for another individual is, right? Like, correcting somebody on something or advising them, if it negates what their chosen preference is, doesn't mean that you don't love them or you don't care for them, right? If you believe that their position is not viable to productivity within their life to some extent, right? I mean, we're not saying we're not talking about throwing gays off roofs or anything. So I don't even understand where you're coming at with this claim that we're punishing these people for these things.
That's just frowned upon. You're not supposed to accept them for who they are, or something along those lines.
Why would I? Why would I accept them?
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't. So
why would I?
You would not be truly loving them for accepting them for who they are, though.
because that's not really what I mean, it is, but it's not natural. It's not,
Well,
again.
for what they do, for what correction, for what they do, not for who they are, but for what
Right,
they do.
right. Not who they. I would agree with that statement. But it, like, I noticed that I loved how you came out like that, because I get where Steve and you are saying, but the attacking thing, just wait. If the no-hide laws and shit goes down, CCP status, then yeah, the gays will be probably fucking thrown off the walls, but all of us will be considered Gentiles. All of us.
I
But
don't
the
think
fact
people are
is,
going to be that bad about it, though. I
No,
don't
Yeah,
think
I'm not too worried about no-hide laws.
The push would be the opposite, in my opinion. It would be this acceptance of just do what you want. No, nobody cares. God doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you do.
yeah, maybe
which is
in
what
a
you
beast
see
system
now.
world, yeah.
Look
I can see that.
at what that's gotten people.
Because you got to admit, the normalization of the gay agenda is in play with like big tech and cereal companies and marketing, and
Bud Light.
Bud Light obviously had their issues with what happened.
100%.
You know, and even
almost seems like
Pampex is now hiring trans to promote female products. So actual females are standing up saying, "No, this is not right either." Like, why are they hiring gays or trans to promote female products or female marketing instead of a real female?
right. It almost seems like it's in action here right now as we're on this panel. To me,
But I think it's more nuanced than that, because I think that part of the reason there's such a group up and a push for that agenda is because people attack them and pretend like they're helping when really they're just making excuses. Does that make
Where
sense?
are these attacks at? Where are these beheadings and these gays being thrown off walls and being persecuted for being gay? Where are the? I see more gays
it's the
getting
Muslims
liked and
doing
more
that.
gays
Like, you
getting
see-
away with shit than non-gays.
You get a word in there otherwise.
well, I think of that video of that one Muslim that Slow Boy Whiteboard made. Two images of me though, when there's Muslims that are claiming that there is no place in the Bible where it says that a man can't love another man in a sexual way like that specifically, or that could be forgiven and they don't go to hell or some shit like that. But I don't even think we need to go to scripture for this. I think
No, that's the whole thing. You nailed it on the head when you said it's not even about God. It's not even about any of that. It's about simple biology and simple natural shit. So when you ask me, mindfuck, why I'm attacking, I'm not attacking. I'm actually educating you of reality.
You're not.
No, it's reality, Flo. You tell me biology and fucking natural law is not reality? You tell me just because I want to fucking act like I got a vagina, I'm gonna tuck my fucking dick under my butthole and fucking pull some tight pants on and have a big ass camel toe. It's real. Or if I get surgery, it's real.
What a lovely
I'm biologically
Thank
still
you,
a fucking
Snapper.
male or female. I'm biology still a male or female. And I can't produce and make life and have a community grow and naturally build as a human with the same sex. It's impossible.
I don't think
death is
any of
only the option.
biology.
Death is only the option of fucking survival.
Well, if we were only having to reproduce, then yeah, that's the case. But that's really not going to be the case.
No, but the fact is, it's against. It's more of a. It's like identify. You want a tattoo? You want an earring? You want to be gay? Okay, doesn't make it like It's more of a characteristic thing. I call it mental illness, but it's still
right. And we're also all here in general in this quote unquote truther clique or whatever. We're talking about global depopulation, all this kind of shit, right? What better way to depopulate the global population? Sorry for people getting triggered by the word global, but what better way to do that than to promote homosexuality and transgenderism, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that way nobody can reproduce. Therefore, you're gonna reduce the global population.
Yeah, I mean, how do gay people reproduce in the first place?
Right, exactly.
Well, there's a lot of children out there that need to be adopted, so it's a good way for these people who aren't able to make.
Dude. Gay people should not be allowed to adopt children.
ISIS is adopting them.
Fuck that. Fuck
Hamas
that.
is adopting them.
So this is a hot
The
topic.
Jesuits are
There's a lot
adopting
of
them.
feeling-
Gay people
feeling
should
about
not be
it.
allowed to be anywhere near fucking children. Period.
Look. It's a targeted for our children in the cartoons we watch, in the fucking cereals and the marketing, the thing. Dude, that's why the drag queen story. It is truly a programming, and the gay agenda is like it's truly weaponized, and that's when you get people like Mindfucked going, "Well, you're attacking them." No, I'm actually standing up for biological, realistical, shit. All you fuckers are just
Why?
taking on this character identity of I'm gay.
You
Cool.
don't have to take
Do you
it
guys, do
literally
any of you guys know any gay people at all?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
dude.
one of my best friends is gay. I
So-
only like no, for real. He respects it too. He don't. You would never think he was gay. He's one of those gays that like you would never know he's gay unless. But he's pretty gay. As long as he don't hit on me, I'm cool with it. I have friends that are gay, but I still tell them all the time I don't believe in that, and it's not natural. And
Is he a
they
bear?
respect it.
Is he a bear?
No, he's a little skinny white guy.
Oh,
like
he's a twink?
like real redhead
Are you
dude.
so Snaps is the bear?
I know
Snap,
black
yeah,
people.
Snaps.
No. That's the funny thing though. We were talking about this. We could still be friends. We could still be cool. We could still whatever. We just don't have to believe or have the same ideals. But I'm still going to tell him the same thing I tell you guys on panel. I feel it's completely wrong. You're doing identity fucking shit, and it's not like natural. So what
I
you're doing
agree
is
with
on
you.
you.
I think it's gross and unnatural, but I'm not someone to make a judge or make a law against them. From
Right.
that.
And I'm friends with him because he doesn't fucking hit on me or any of that shit. So I respect him because he respects me. But see, I'm
know
not
what happens when
attacking
you
him
act out.
like Mindfuck wants to say because I tell him, dude, you're a faggot and go find a bitch.
I really hate how we stuck our flag into the pee-pee and the poo-poo conversation. Can we segue into something?
What does this have to do with the core
Can
of
we
the
get
earth?
to Jack Talcott?
Yeah, what's this got
Where'd
to
he
do with
go?
the shape of the earth? Let's talk about the shape of the earth, please. Let's talk about real pressing matters.
Well, I just
Yeah,
did a
let's do
poll,
it.
gentlemen. Should we live and let live? And 22% of people said no, we should not let live and let others live.
That's right.
So I was out of 18 votes. There's 50 something people here. I tried to wait to see if we can get the even number, but
Those are rookie numbers, man. We got to pump those numbers up.
yeah, they are rookie numbers. But so it's just interesting. People are actually taking the poll seriously.
Well, and then back on what just Snafu was just I personally would not say that we would need to make actual laws, civil laws enforced by the government saying that you can't be gay. Like, I think that would be an overreach, though.
I never said that. I never said that.
Saying that you couldn't get married either. There's a law, right?
Well, I think the whole marriage thing is just, to me, is blasphemy. The concept of marriage, but if you really go to marriage, the worship of Saturn, the occult leadership. That's why the ring, ring.
Come on now.
Well, that also
like
doesn't
if you
make
go real
sense
deep
because-
into it, marriage.
Come on, Snafu, man.
I mean, the rings existed for like 1,000 years before the rings of Saturn were discovered. So, I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
I'll have to send you something if you're willing to look into
No,
it.
I mean, I know exactly what you're
Are you talking about? Oh yeah,
The
man.
rings-
Okay,
the rings of-
it is
the rings of
like the
Saturn
marriage
were
and the
not-
cult and the ring.
Oh yeah, when Saturn Moon Matrix was fucking huge
Yeah,
back on Instagram in
yeah.
2016. I remember that
We
shit.
know all this shit. But I'm saying the
Belt of
rings of Saturn were
Saturn.
not discovered until the 1600s. So, I mean, and rings existed for thousands of years before that. So there's no way that you could tie a ring being Saturnian to
Okay. I think it's like the rainbow thing. You know the story of the rainbow? Well, what does the rainbow represent now in our culture? I think
Well,
marriage
yeah.
was blasphemy the same way.
There's
A
definitely
between a
to
bond
that.
between a
I'm
man
into
and a
that.
woman, between a man and a woman, and now they blaspheme it with man and man, woman and woman, all this dumb shit.
Yeah.
Well, you
I-
feel that way
it's the
because it
rainbow.
was written in the scriptures, right? It was written in the Bible. That's kind of what you know, right? Is that why you're saying that, Snafu?
No, I'm just saying forever the unnatural shit again. Man and woman. Okay, you have a PP and PP making fucking children and continuing the world. Nope. The JJ. Nope. They're just fucking gonna die. Life is over.
Now,
Fucking unnatural. The whole
TB,
thing is marriage was tarnished with this new age bullshit.
I don't
TB.
think
That's why our children are being fucking given opportunity to change their sex organs. And if their parents say no, and the parents could lose their children now. If a 5-6-year-old says, my teacher and them have told me to change my sex organs, I want to, but mommy and daddy won't let me. And now the states and governments are getting involved and taking children away to allow them to get sex changes. The shit's happening in America right now. I mean, literally, CPS.
It may have happened. I'm pretty sure they're turning that.
They're trying, but it's happening. The fact is, just like the gay agenda is like on our cereal, but the Bud Light shit, everything is being pushed on purpose, and the marriage thing was just a part of it to push it and normalize it.
TB, you said you had your best friend was gay.
No, I didn't say that.
Then that was EBT. No.
I've had gay friends. I've had gay.
My best
I've
friend
had band
is
members that were
gay, black, Native American.
Yeah, all types of things.
Yeah, all the
disabled.
No, I was just laughing because Snafu responded with the typical. My best friend is gay.
No, I'm just
my best friend is black.
I have five.
Actually, the guy I'm talking about was on American Idol, and Simon Cowell told him to get the fuck out of the room. It was actually pretty funny.
Well, Snafu bringing up the rainbow. Yeah, I think there is some relation to the Bible in that regard when we think about the transgender thing that's happening, and how the inversion of these identities is sort of the iconoclasm against God, where it's just like a complete what's the word, like corruption of the image of God. And distorting it to
Discordian culture jamming is what I would call it.
Sounds like a badass band.
Just like inversions, just like, because that's why according to us, that's why Satan hates, Mary.
Well,
so
there's
much.
a new. I got a new poll in the chat there, and it says, "Should gay families be allowed to adopt orphans?" And I know you guys said absolutely no way. See, right? So,
yeah, because then they could be fucking.
They don't just let regular
They're
people.
just going to reproduce another gay kid.
Yeah,
but they're like, oh, this is okay. How come I can engage in this?
I mean, that's not 100% true. That could be possible, but you have children. There's so many children that are homeless. So many children that need to be adopted, looking for homes.
So let's all teach them to be sex workers and fucking push them in drag queen story hour and fucking just teach them unnatural. Let's teach our children unnatural law. Fuck booty holes and booty holes. Let's touch pee. Let's touch pee. Let's teach our children to touch pee and create a community and society. It's gonna work.
A lot of the adoption services are so corrupted. A lot of the adoption services are so corrupted, and there's so little oversight really on them, though.
It's fucked.
You could be adopted to a straight family, and just because they want to adopt children to abuse. I mean, and this happens all the time. I mean,
so that would be the fear, right? Is that they would this children being adopted would be indoctrinated into being gay as well?
I don't know if I would.
No, maybe not directly, but
maybe not directly,
for sure.
But
I'm curious of what there has to be a study.
Would be better.
Statistically, yes, they would be, because you got to think they look up to the provider. They look up to whoever's raising them, and you got two fucking fags raising a kid. Most likely,
it's going to pervert their worldview. Obviously, I mean,
obviously.
But the alternative isn't straight parents. The alternative, I think, is group home, where you have just a revolving door of all sorts of adults.
They're already adopted. They're already in a unique situation, and then now they have to deal with the two dads or the two mom thing, or the tranny mom and the gay dad. I don't know. I mean,
and imagine the school and the kids and interaction with other fucking children. Oh, you got two moms, you got two dads, and it definitely is raising someone in an environment already at stress, pressure, and unnatural.
I think it's probably preferable, though, to being raised in an institution. personally. It's not. There's no easy answer, obviously, but
I'm so getting canceled. I'm so getting canceled for being on this panel. I'm being canceled tomorrow for being on this panel.
I'm always canceled. Don't worry. You'll get used to it.
You're so canceled, Snafu.
Just because you
I'm
have
always
one man and a
canceled, man.
woman as parents, that doesn't mean that they're going to be any better than two males or two women's being parents. Just
Yeah,
because
they are. Did you not just hear the stress the kid would have to go through, the unnatural raising, the unnatural process of just even being raised?
if they're going to go through
So the
shit
kid
where they
already
don't
is.
care
The kid
straight
already
or
has fucking issues they're gonna have to deal with because the parents are gay. Versus a natural, like a woman and a man.
where did
raising
your
a
issues
child.
come from? You weren't raised by gay parents.
I guess
Well,
so, bro.
I
didn't
implore
have
you guys
parents, bro.
to actually search.
One minute I
for,
got parents, the next minute I don't. Now they're gay. I don't know
No,
what it is,
you weren't
bro.
raised by gay parents.
It actually
No,
looks
my
like it's
parents
not
are
too
straight.
shabby.
That's what I said.
Search for it. Google
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah. I was adopted actually, so you know.
I adopted a
what?
child as well, Snafu. So I know the process. But looking up the fact that do adopted children to gay parents, do they become gay? They actually apparently perform better than male female parents. So yeah, Google it. It's there. That's something interesting.
Right.
Did you just literally say Google it,
Right.
Steve?
Right.
Did you literally just say Google it?
The
That's
study
like
was
saying
funded
fucking
by Bud Light.
Pfizer funded by Pfizer. Are you fucking joking?
Research
Google
it. How about that?
That was worse than what Cynthia would ever fucking say.
No.
Holy shit. Google it. I just Googled it.
Dude, Google it, man.
Worse than something Cynthia could say, Snafu. I should just fucking ban you for that bullshit. Come on.
Just Google it, Steve.
Google it.
Just Google it.
No, it's interesting. Interesting when you don't fucking pay attention to something and then you start looking into it. You're like, wow.
Honestly, the reason I say that is because what if you used a different browser? I wonder if it would say the same statistics. Because remember, Google's going to mainstream propaganda and feed you a bunch of fucking
what
mainstream
other
media narrative. So, like, if you
Ask
used a different
Jeeves.
web browser,
is Ask
Let's
Jesus
ask
still around?
Jeeves.
Ask
Ask
Jesus
Jeeves.
still around?
it'd be interesting if it puts different, stuff, statistics. Like if you used DuckDuckGo or something like that.
Well,
they
and
changed
then
it to ask.com.
And let's let's be reminded of the book that's on Mr. Bill Gates' bookshelf there, How to Lie with Statistics, right? So what does that even mean, though?
This is all we know how to do nowadays, right? Can you imagine our kids, like you were saying, from now, my children, what kind of misinformation is going to be out there? And everything is going to be unknown. Nothing is going to be known to be true because there's going to be so many things.
I think Neuralink's going to be huge.
I mean, just Google white doctor, and then it all comes up with images of black doctors. So I mean, like, what does it even mean anymore? So
just Google it. That was really funny.
I like it. It's like cams versus not cams. Cams versus uncams.
No, bring snaps back.
Yeah. Okay. She doesn't realize I can only fit.
I'm back. Hey guys.
Oh,
I was curious.
Snaps gets kicked. I'm out of here, man. No fucking way. I'm not going to stand for it.
I won't kick him. I'm not paying the money, so I can only fit 6 people up here at a time.
What's the
shout out to not paying StreamYard.
Dude, that's crazy. 28 people if you pay for it though. That's nuts.
Shout out to not paying for StreamYard. That's for the birds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't pay for StreamYard. Fuck that.
But if you go on Flow State's channel later, I'm gonna buy like 500 memberships for everybody.
Hell yeah!
Hey, let's have 20 people.
You're
on
not
the panel.
blocked.
That'll be great.
Someone did, dude. One of your mods.
Well, you probably got timed out. I didn't block you or time you out. You're not blocked.
Oh, okay.
You're probably not coming up on panel, to be honest, but you seem to be less Fergie tonight than normal.
He's not seeing.
Yes, because he's with his bros. Me and EBT. We have a calming, civilizing effect on Snafu.
I see that. It's a weird thing that you do. You're like the Snaps whisperers.
They got it down.
Oh, that's a good one.
Uber whisperers, I guess.
Yeah. So with the poll, it said, should gay families be allowed to adopt orphans? 58% no, 41% said yes.
Based chat. Based shout out to the chat for being based. The
And shout out to
58% of
Chuck
y'all.
for being jealous. Chuck, you get an eggplant too.
Why are you giving everybody the wiener emoji, bro?
No homo, though. See how I did that?
We're back in the pee pee poo poo.
Right here, baby. Suko Guka.
It's time to face it. We all just want to talk about pee pee and poo poo.
Pee pee and the poo poo.
Well, hey guys, I'm gonna probably shut down in about 5 minutes. I'm at close to my max limit for streaming because I don't pay for the StreamYard. But apparently the channel's been growing. I've been holding quite a few conversations, people showing up, so I may actually just kick in the $20, whatever. So it's a decision that if people keep showing up and showing good conversation, which is what I hope for, none of the bullshit. I just appreciate you guys being here. So yeah, if you got any last remarks, any fag talk, go for it. But no, I appreciate everyone being here.
I just want to say that God hates queers and God hates spears. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Well, I would say that Steve understands the Bible better than all of you three fuckers on the right side, because he doesn't cast the first stone or make
Oh, wow.
Oh my God!
No,
I
I
want to be
don't.
unnatural and put PP and vajayjays together.
Wow.
You're a fucking.
Sarah. You're so judgmental, Sarah.
Go create an island.
Wow.
Of unnatural fucking homosexual fucking babies.
Bye, Sarah.
What was that?
I can't believe y'all did
She gave
that.
me props, man. She was giving me props. That felt great.
Well, yeah, you can get props, Steve. Yeah, nice panel. We had a
Look
good
at
time.
you. You're already in hell and fire. You're good, Steve.
All right, man. Hey, my arm's on fire. It's all on fire. Help me.
The bar's on fire. The bar's on fire.
Hello, guys, and snaps.
What's up, Cynthia? Your best buddy Snafu's up here.
I was listening to y'all's conversation. Guys, I am one of the people that said yes, gays should be able to
Of
adopt
course,
orphans.
you. Of course,
And you call yourself a
I
Christian.
feel like
Unbelievable.
Steve
You
was
call
right
yourself a
when they are
Christian.
going to be better parents.
So
And
brave.
let us
You're
remind
stunning and brave.
each other
Stunning
that
and
there
brave.
is no one sin greater
Are
than
they
the
are they
other.
parents who are jabbed who are raising
And
these
there
people
is
too?
no
Can you
one
tell us?
sin greater than the other. So the fact that you say that about homosexuality and then just make it seem like that's the only sin that is total crap, Snaps. And you should not be doing that.
Why are you defending fucking unnatural fucking law?
It doesn't matter if it's
It
natural
does
or not
matter.
natural. Who am
Biology
I to
matters.
judge?
Biology matters. Just like BLM matters, biology matters.
Who
Do
am
you
I
eat
to
salmon,
Supports
Snafu, Snap?
depopulation. She supports depopulation agenda. And
Yeah,
It's not that,
clearly.
Oh my gosh.
Well, she is jabbed.
Oh my gosh. It's not that I support it. It's just that I'm not going to judge it. And there's a difference.
Stunning and brave.
I'm
Well, then
supporting
you
I'm supporting the future of
what can
life.
you judge? Can you judge a murderer? Can a murderer be judged?
No, I can't judge because I have friends
No,
that are murderers.
literally.
I have friends that are murderers. So how could I judge them?
Well, yeah, we know your business, your import-export of slaves through.
No, I have friends that have been to prison for murder. I have friends that are in prison for murder.
Right. Yeah, my best friend is a serial murderer. Yeah, I know. We've heard this before.
So do you feel sorry for
my
the
best friend is a
family?
black
Do you feel
faggot
sorry for the
serial killer.
family of
Yeah,
your
we
friend
all-
who murdered his?
Oh my
Do you feel
god!
any?
Y'all
Do
are,
you
like,
feel
trying
any
to talk to
like
children.
compassion for the murder,
the
like
point
the
is
family, the
this.
victim? You're always being a victim, woman, like, but now you're not. So do you want to like feel like a victim for the
What-
actual victims?
who
You're
hurt
getting
y'all?
lectured on
now.
compat.
You're
on
always the
Who
sympathy
victim, but
right
now
hurt
you're
now.
y'all
promoting
in
murder.
life, you little soulless boys.
Wow,
Everybody
are
needs
you
love.
judging?
Wow, you're
judging
being
us
so
right now.
judgmental
You're
right
so
now.
judgmental right
Wow.
now.
Oh my
don't
Stunning
gosh!
and brave.
Cynthia.
Now y'all are acting.
Wow.
Stunning and
I
brave.
need to slap
Stunning and
y'all.
brave.
I feel unsafe right now,
You
Cynthia.
should feel unsafe, Snaps. You should feel
I
unsafe.
do. I feel
You
abused and
should feel.
assaulted, and
And then
kinds
why
of
do you
shit.
keep running around with this BS narrative that you keep trying to paint on me while we're up here talking?
That you're jabbed and promoting population
No,
control
get
and want
past
a bunch
that.
of
The
peepees
other
and
one
peepees
about the
crossing
women.
swords by
What do you
gay
call
faggots
them?
raising them.
Facts. Facts.
Well, all
What do
right,
you call
guys.
them?
I'm gonna
The
start
granny
kicking
panties?
y'all out of here
Why are
because
you?
it's midnight.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
God bless
Yeah.
Good night,
sodomite.
Mr.
Appreciate
Steve,
everybody coming
Dee
by.
Good stream.
Bye,
Nephew, thank you, Matt.
snaps.
Thank you,
Dee.
thank
Garlic
you.
bread.
Flo, thanks for stopping. EBT, I think it's your first time up here. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll see you around.
Yep, great conversation. Thank you, sir. Get the fuck out of here. Flow State, how's it going, buddy?
It's chaotic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go live for a little bit. I think I just dropped a link. I don't know if I'm a wrench actually. Am I a wrench? I think I am. Anyways, I just dropped links in front and back. Maybe.
Yeah, you're not one on here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do that. Hold on. Let's see if I can hook it up.
You can hook it up, or you can just copy and paste the one
Yeah,
from back chat, or you can, or people probably know where to find me anyways. But
yeah, I know how to fucking find
it's
you.
scheduled for half an hour from now, but I just set a time out there. I'll probably start, just a minute after you kick me out. But you facilitated a good conversation with. I'm actually quite surprised that the panel that was just here all had a good conversation about the topic at hand.
Well, it went to that religious chat, which I really have no knowledge of. When people start talking about Bible verses and this and that, I only know what I observe. So it's you kind of feel out of the conversation. But I'll just, if they want to talk about it, then talk about it. But it definitely was pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw when Tommy was on and earlier, let him do his 30 minutes of bitching everybody out, but it actually, you know what I mean? And he left and he threatened me that he's going to leave. Like, well, fucking leave, man. Like, you don't have to fucking stay here. So
it must be rough to be like Tommy or Snaps and nobody is ever living up to your standards at all.
Yeah. For
but
sure.
You stay around them all the time. Anyways, I don't know. All right.
Yep.
I'm out.
All right, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. So Flow State's going to be streaming later on, about an hour. I think you said something like that. Stream not too shabby tonight. A lot of good conversation. I think we got to talk about a lot of shit, which I like because I like to at least come up with a topic and just let it roll from there. Let's see what, where it goes. So in a few days, I'll think of what the hell we want to talk about next week. But no, I appreciate everybody that has stopped in, said hello. A lot of new viewers. Make sure you hit that like button. Because I'm always 50-50 if I'm going to do another Friday night stream. Most of the time they start out like a fucking shit show. But if I stick it out long enough, let's get some good content and people that, with good ideas and can articulate some shit and we can talk about some stuff and not get overly crazy about it. I mean, you just watch Snafu Snaps, EBT, TBE, all these guys on here. And we actually had, a pretty progressive conversation. So with that being said, thanks to all my mods, you guys keeping it real in the chat. And hopefully we'll see you all next week. So in that sense, I'm out. See ya.
Drop that bitch on her head like bang. Drop that bitch on her head like bang.